Let's get into it, man. Ladies and germs, welcome back to another episode of the Let's Keep It Buck podcast. The only podcast where we do things differently. New formatting, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Three's company. You know, they say four is a crowd, so new formatting for the pod. I got my two guys with me. Two brothers. Damo, how you doing today?
Doing great, doing spiffy, doing nifty, man. Got a new car today, so that was fun. That was a process. Adulting. Great.
Okay.
Would you mind sharing what car you got, or?
Oh yeah, 2014 Honda CRX. It was an SUV. Needed something pretty spacious for the family.
That's good, bro. That's good.
Okay. Proud of you.
Yeah, I'm very proud of you, man.
Got my guy B Souls with me. B Souls, how you doing today?
Doing good, bro. Doing good. Energy's up, you know. Had a great stream today. We're chilling, man. How about yourself?
Man, you know why I'm here. You know how I'm feeling. I'm done with the 90s. All right, I'm done with that garbage ass shit.
Garbage.
If you're new to this, you want to be true to this, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the follow button, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend button. Hit all the buttons, kind of like me with the soundboard.
He's on fire.
We did a draft yesterday, an all-time draft. I think I want to start here. We did an all-time draft yesterday, and I'm gonna start early because we can get all the good stuff in before all the people show up, all the nerds show up, right? If you're a part of this 270, you're one of the elite. You're one of my elite employees. Ain't that
You've been promoted.
You've been promoted. This nigga is on TikTok. You've been promoted.
You've been promoted. Congratulations.
One of my elite employees. This is how it went. These are the teams right here. We had Damo, we had Mars, we had Click, we had Dom2K, we had Gifted, we had Souls, we had Sage, we had Omar. This is it. Tell me how y'all feel about these teams, chat. Tell me how y'all feel. Now, mind you, we ran a poll for the teams. I have not checked the poll. The poll is still actively open.
We ran a poll, let me tell you.
Pause, dog. Come on now. We cannot say that like that. And the poll has slightly shifted. However, the results still look about the same. Let me show you guys the results. Wow.
Insane work.
Wow.
I am winning by a great margin. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's actually very lopsided.
With 1,200 responses.
1,200? What you mean? That's 2,000.
Well, you got 50% of 2,400 out of the 300 that watched us last night, chat. Damn.
I put it on Twitter. I put it in the chat.
Originally, you know what's crazy? Originally, we did it on playback. It was 360 people in there, and the first poll had 500 responses.
Yeah, 500, 600.
I don't even know how that was possible.
I put it in the Discord. Discord.
W word of mouth, man. W word of mouth.
Facts. W motion.
Yeah, I'm saying like.
So can we get a breakdown? Can we get breakdown of the real competition down there with the un-AI votes down there?
You talking about the losers? Sage came in second place. Or no, my bad. Third. Click came in second place.
252.
Sage came in third place.
Okay, 235.
Dom2K came in fourth place.
Okay.
B-Souls came in fifth place.
Mm-hmm.
Mars came in sixth. Damo came in seventh. And dead last was Gifted.
He didn't even get 100 votes. That's crazy.
You know what's crazy? Twitter loves Gifted team.
I love him. Tell him to show up and vote. Tell him to show up and vote.
Yeah.
I sound like a Republican now, but y'all got to show up and show out if y'all think we care. Show up and show out type shit. Yeah, I'm gonna stop the poll soon because it's getting real ugly. But yeah, I think I had the greatest team. Y'all want to get into basketball?
Let's get into basketball, man.
We can.
I hate that shit. Psych. That's the first time I've ever won a poll or a draft like that. Well, at all, and such handily fashion. My God, it's almost like you guys weren't even trying.
I wasn't trying at all.
That's what they all say when they
Yeah.
lose.
Nah, we ain't that shit. Damn.
That's what I would say if I lost. What place were you in, Bezos?
Post AI, like third, fourth.
Post AI.
Including AI vote.
Why? How come I don't get credit for my votes?
Your team.
You do.
There's no.
Just artificial intelligence was a part of it.
And if we got the same advantages, why y'all didn't take advantage of it?
We didn't.
We do not have the same advantages. At least I don't.
Why not?
I don't have access to AI of voters.
Yes, you
No, I don't.
do.
I
Okay.
don't even know how you would start to get AI voters. I don't even know the first place to look.
I think he did a great job. Not for real. It was a good team.
Facts, man. Listen, man. We done with the 90s. And we've been done with the 80s. Friend of the show, family of the show, Peak Town Podcast has been exposing that weak ass era. And this is off the heels of a bunch of other players unraveling, peeling the curtain back. But I'm going to let y'all watch this and let me know what y'all think.
I don't know what the 90s. Scottie Pippen, Moonface, big garbage. Look at this. How he do this? Look at this. He just gave it to dude. Garbage. Check this out. Jordan drive left. He ain't got no left. Watch this crazy shot he do. We done with the 90s. It looked even worse in slow-mo. Jordan, garbage. He ain't got no left hand. Pippen right there.
What do you want?
And this is when he first came back. That's number 45, Jordan. This is mid-90s.
Left hand. If you drive left, you don't get ripped. Look at that. Hey, for now, don't believe the hype. Don't believe the hype. Hey, yo, this the very next time down. We done with the 90s. Jordan, big trash. He want the ball. And he gonna turn and shoot an air ball? Garbage. I know y'all gonna get mad at me, but I didn't shoot the air ball. Jordan did. Look at Jordan numbers late in the third quarter, and he gonna tell Ahmad Rashad he was scared. Butterflies, man, you scared. These your GOAT's number late in the third quarter. LeBron numbers ain't never like that this late in the third quarter. Big trash. Look, he won it again. Watch this. Get that out of here. This y'all GOAT right here. Garbage. It look even worse in slow-mo. Look, get that shit out of here. It's garbage.
Wait, this one is crazy. I ain't gonna lie.
We done with the 80s. Look at Isaiah Zesty Thomas do that move for nothing. Then he gonna pass it to Vinny the microwave. He just gonna travel and then get it beat. Garbage. We done with the 80s. When you watch Isaiah Thomas just travel, zesty. Garbage. The 80s, all they did was travel and shoot bricks. All they did was shoot bricks, smoke dope, and travel. Kiss Magic Johnson. Zesty. Look at this guy that just subbed in, man. For real? They say he hardly ever played. It's the worst ball spot of my life.
That Lou Hudson?
Hardly ever plays. Who is dude? Scottie Pippen. Jordan passed the ball. It's too long. You pass it. Scottie wide open. Shoot an air ball. Trash. The 80s was big trash. Look at dude with the ball spot, man. This is one of the worst balls hole in the naturals I ever seen.
Zareem Abdul-Jabbar,
Look at how his beard connect to his mustache connect to his beard to his ball spot. It looked like he cut that in there.
Zoo Alcindor.
Man, who is dude? I mean, it looked like he lost a bet. It don't even look like he balled for real. It look like he just lost a bet, man. Yeah, man. Jordan gambling habit was out of control, man. He made dude cut his hair when he ain't had the money.
Man, what's going on, man? What's going on? What's tell me what
Lies are being exposed every single day, man. Lies are being exposed. What you grew up on wasn't what it was. You know, we talked about it a couple pods ago. What is that thing from your childhood that looking back wasn't really it? I personally said live action sitcoms, looking back, them shits weren't funny. And, you know, looking back, maybe the 80s and 90s weren't the golden age that a lot of y'all made it out to be, man. Next up, 2000s, though. You are up next, buddy. You are next up in the investigation.
I know that's right. So
And they're already calling the defense trash in this era. We're getting ahead. We're done with the 2020s. I'm starting that shit. Yes.
what's going on here, man?
Just a lot of realizations are setting in. A lot of these games, tape delayed, not on in the archives of the archives. They weren't being displayed like that. Now people having the access to really go back and uncover some of this film and actually dissect it for real. You will start to see a lot of these things that the older cats are just ignoring or glossing over. And to be also honest, it's just flaws. Every era has flaws. Every player has a flaw or two, has some sort of flaws. No one's perfect. It's a flaw. I'm loving this resurgence of we're done with the 80s, done with the 90s, because now these people are basically being caught off being hypocrites. Because I brought this up on PC and a point was made. When we talking about players we're done with in the 90s, whatever it is, we start pointing out flaws of Jordan can't go left, Barkley can't go left, whoever can go left or can't do this, can't do that. Oh, but he still won. He was still great. He still did this. But you fast forward and we talk about early LeBron not having a jump shot, and I tell you, oh, but he still averaged 28, 29 points with no jump shot. Still, how great can you be if you can't do this, that, and the third? You're starting to expose these guys. You gotta have the same energy. Guys can have flaws and still be great. Guys can have flaws, you can point it out. Yeah. And I'm just loving it. This is the start of it. This is the start of uncovering that truth.
I think both are stupid, to be fair. I just want to put it out there. Like, everyone has flaws, you know? And also, when it comes to... Because this is also why during the draft, like, I wanted to make sure that we picked specific years is because with a player's progression early in their career, they're going to have certain weaknesses that maybe later in their career they work on. They get exposed in the playoffs on the biggest stage, and then they work on it. So, like, for example, LeBron, the fact that people were making him shoot in the late 2000s when he was choking it up, that was a weakness that was exposed. He learned from it, and by 2012, 2013, he had a really good post game. You couldn't just leave him open, and that turned into prime LeBron. So, I mean, same thing with Jordan. So, but a lot is being exposed, though. I will say a lot is being exposed, and I'm glad he didn't just keep it on MJ, man. You know, he kept, you know, he was attacking the Celtics. He was attacking the Pistons. He was attacking the Pacers. He kept the same energy throughout the whole era, so I like it.
I wanna say, because last podcast when I talked about the Heat thing, and somebody was like, Damo showed you Michael Jordan doing this, that, and the third, and you just you moved the goalpost or whatever the case may be. That's clear evidence, and you can go back, and I encourage people to watch Peak what's his name? Peak Town Podcast? My bad. I encourage y'all to watch his YouTube channel to see the footage that's there. I'm gonna play a couple more clips, but like it was known. B-Soul's reacted to a couple more things. Like the word was out on MJ. Send him left. If he's Isaiah Thomas said, if he's on the left side, send him left. If he's on the right side, send him left. If he's at the middle, send him left. If he takes two dribbles, he's gonna pick it up. He about to shoot that motherfucker. It's been out there. It's been exposed. And what's crazy is we talk about it all the time. We concede it. I don't know why this is maybe the manner. You don't like the manner that, you know, people are delivering the message, but we talk about it all the time. Those generations in those eras were less skilled. But if you don't like the way that somebody's saying it, change your tampon. I think that's part of the problem first. And 2, get a grip. I said that me and Sage talked about AI a minute ago.
I put it in my right hand, and the only thing I could do was cross with my left. I couldn't. I would have to
Do well on TikTok, by
side
the
of
way,
the
guys.
backboard and use my
Follow
right.
up, follow up.
I ain't want to dribble with my left, nothing. You know what I mean? I was
And yet they would still fall for it.
because you make it the way you do it, you making that person, you got to make it look exactly like you going that way.
Not Allen Jalen Brown.
2 dribbles, he's coming back. 2 dribbles, and the motherfucker is coming back right. When he gets into the lane, he's finishing right. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. I want to go to another one. I talked about this last podcast, but I didn't find it, but I found it now. It's easy to find these things. Sometimes you just got to look for the footage.
It's not that hard to understand the difference in errors, right? So at my heaviest, when I was in Indiana, I was 273.
This is ex-pro player David West.
Right. 273 pounds. Roy was 295 pounds. This is Roy Hibbert. Okay. Roy was anywhere from 285 on a light day, 295 on a heavy day, right? We had Danny Granger, who played the 3, and he was 245 pounds at the 3. Paul George was 220 at the 2. And whether it was Lance or if we had Lance at the 1, Lance is 230 pounds at point guard. George Hill, 195, right? For as great as the Pistons were in the 90s, I'm not taking any Pistons with Isaiah and Lambeer. Those guys were great. Yeah, Lambeer was only 245 pounds.
We done with the 90s. We done with the 90s. That nigga is a small forward point, and you think that that's the guy that's gonna get physical? With somebody talk about body up sliders. Let him go. Let him cook.
Well, nah, that's fact. You understand? Like, Rick Mahorn was 250. Yeah. Right? Yeah. On the Knicks with Anthony Mason and Oakley, those guys were super tough. Xavier McDaniel. Mace was 245. Patrick was 235. Right? So physically, there was a time in the NBA where, like, Memphis, for instance, when Memphis had Zebo and Gasol, you're talking about 275 at the power forward and center. You know, you're talking about you're talking about just bigger, stronger people. So,
man, we done with the 90s, man. They told us they was big, they had the size, and I get it. You know, when you a young kid and your dad is telling you these stories, you got big eyes, you got your listening ears on, and it just sounds great. So you just eat it up. So your dad's telling you about MJ, your uncles is telling you about MJ. Your dad used to take you to the barbershop on Saturday. You spent 3-4 hours at the barbershop. You only had this much head. You had a sprinkle of hair on your head. Y'all spent 3-4 hours talking about MJ. Cut the TV on. Old dusty ass Michael Wilbon is up there sucking MJ's dick. Right? So is Skip Bayless and all that. They doing that. And you never really look into the shit. You never really look into it. And then now that we older with the visibility, we looking into it. We are genuinely looking into it. Think about it. Think about it this way. Think about what I'm about to say. Think about this, what I'm about to say. Y'all grew up in San Diego, Southern California. Your dad is from San Diego, Southern California. Nigga, he saw MJ maybe when the Bulls played the Lakers. That's it. He wasn't going to no games. So whatever was coming through the pipeline, he was picking it up too. He was believing that bullshit too. It's folk tales. What's his name? John Henry, the nigga with the big axe, Johnny Appleseeds. That's all it is. And mind you, hey, we chuck it up for Wilt and them. We don't really get into it. Bill Russell, we might make light jokes here and there, but oh yeah, okay, champion. But it's understood that the skill gap isn't there. It's an understood thing. We need to bring that to the 90s and the 80s now. Like B-So said, we're moving up and up and up. We need to bring that just blanket understanding that, hey, the 90s was garbage and just cover that. And like B-So said, we coming for the 2000s next.
I just want to make clear, I personally still think MJ's a great player, but the weakness was the weakness. That shit was exposed. I think every player got weaknesses. When motherfuckers are just in denial about Jordan's weaknesses, I think that's when it becomes a problem. But hey, like I said in that TikTok, bro, it's like the jokes are fun. Like I like being a part of the jokes, but all I'm seeing is how much do you really need that offhand for real, man? Jordan didn't need it. Magic didn't need it. Stockton didn't need it. Jaylen Brown didn't need it. Allen Iverson didn't need it, man.
That? Oh no.
I'm just saying, man.
If everybody else, mind you, that's the top. So if everybody else is worse than that garbage, you might be right. They definitely don't need it. Because I tell you one thing, B-So, when I'm playing with my little cousins on the little Tykes rim, I don't need that shit either. And that's what it was for a lot of them. When you playing against garbage.
I just brought up Jaylen Brown too.
But don't you think that's I'm not gonna say a product. Don't you think that's one of the things that led to at least an era of people coming up believing genuinely or just getting by on relying on athleticism, relying on God-given talents? Like, wouldn't that point to why these foreign guys are coming over more touted, more skilled, because they're addressing more things at an earlier age? And now we picked up on that, and that's why we have these American kids looking how they do now compared to back then. You grew up idling Jordan. When you did see Jordan, that nigga wasn't going left. And you knew if I grew up on Jordan and Jordan not going left, I'm playing with AI and AI not going left, the niggas under that aren't going left either. Like that, they just rely on speed, athleticism, being able to jump over everybody to not go left. It took an era of people being like, maybe you do need to put the ball in both hands. It took somebody like Rod Strickland to be connected with his friend, and now his son is with the ball everywhere every day. It took a Jamal Crawford just keeping the ball. I don't really practice. I'm just doing dumb shit by myself. It took Jason Williams coming through. I'm just doing dumb shit by myself. It took Chris Paul and guys like that coming through to be able to do it everything. And I'm not saying that those guys were the reason, but it took exceptional people like that to change it for a new era of people.
Yeah, no, I agree. The reason why I just wanted to say that was I'm just staying consistent with my take on like the whole bag conversation. Do you really need a bag? And my take with that has always been, my priority is production. So if you don't got a left hand, but they can't stop you with your right, and it doesn't decrease in the playoffs, I don't got a problem as long as you're producing at efficient rates at high volumes and helping your team and impacting your team on winning.
That's fine. Today it would change. Today he would be less effective.
Yeah.
Today and there's nothing wrong.
Two things can be true.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. If he's garbage, he's garbage. You understand what I'm saying? If he's trash, he's trash. But today, we wouldn't let somebody with the skill of MJ, because mind you, and I was gonna say earlier MJ, but we just seen him when he came back, right? That was 45. Especially earlier MJ, we would not, somebody with that type of skill at the guard position could not make it that far.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I feel like a lot of older players would be less effective in today's era. So I agree. I mean, I've always made a distinction between best and greatest, anyways. And like these conversations just make that clear, bro. Just compare how these players dominated relative to their era. That's what greatness is about. I feel like a lot of times, and when we have these most talented, best conversations, then that list is looking completely different. So
somebody said I disagree. I'll send the shit out right now.
Well, all I'm gonna say, based on what I've heard in this situation, is I'm very shocked that y'all entertain this stuff, man. Because to be honest, I mean, granted, we probably trolling, or no, we seem serious, but for the most part, my thing is, man, the NBA is special. It's the only fandom that don't like nothing. All right, the 60s, you weren't born, too old, who cares? Segregation hoops. The 70s, popularly, if you disagree, cool, but popularly seen as the worst era in history. The 80s and 90s, y'all are literally saying forget about them. The early 2000s didn't shoot as well as the 2020s and 2010s. 2010s was the super team era, and in this era, nobody plays defense. I mean, my God, y'all niggas might as well just go watch hockey. Like, watch football, watch baseball. Y'all like nothing. Y'all dead hate every fucking era. Just watch a different sport, bro. Basketball sucks is what I'm learning.
Sage, I think the problem is, and I feel this way. Basketball is probably, and I'm not deep into all the other sports to know the conversations. I'm not in the baseball spaces and the baseball playback rooms and the baseball, locker rooms and all this stuff like that. But basketball seems to be the only sport, and this has been this way for a minute. So there's been a lot of people who are LeBron James fans, especially, have had this gripe. Basketball is the only sport where evolution can exist, where things can't get better.
Oh, can. I thought you said can.
What you mean? They can. We always have these conversations.
Oh no. For us, yes, but for the media and the narrative pushers, it's always been, such and such is no George Mikan. He's no Bill Walton. He's no Artis Gilmore. I
think you're guessing. I've heard that about he's not Shaq, like these once in a generation players, but I've never heard someone say, man, but he's not Artis Gilmore. Maybe Dr. J. I know Dr. J's top 10 of all time literally has not changed since the 80s, but
Mad Dog was just on TV talking about Bob Cousy being over a lot of these niggas. You've got to stop.
This is a situational thing in terms of where you have these basketball conversations. Omar, the way you're having it, I can tell you've heard a lot of older people talk about basketball because that seems like barbershop conversation. He nice, but he know Bill Walton. That's barbershop talk. That's barbershop lingo. That's barbershop conversations. That's how I get down when you're talking to older people. I can assure you, Bezos' basketball conversations came from the lunchroom. And if we were at the lunch table talking basketball and the nigga had the audacity, hey man, I ain't gonna lie, Al Jefferson cool. He ain't no Artis Gilmore. Pot to the face. Who is this nigga? Get this nigga away from the table. He ain't who? Tree Rollins. What? What are you talking about? So it depends on who you've had these conversations with. I can assure you, Bezos probably have not heard people talking like that.
Also, Mad Dog. I mean, I know about Mad Dog, but there has not been a second where I've taken Mad Dog seriously. So, and a lot of people that I know don't take him seriously.
And again, so both things, what you just said, can be flipped on you. I understand because I feel like we have better basketball conversations than the other people, but there's a large majority of people that consume the Mad Dog conversations. There's a lot of people, that consume this. There's a lot of people that believe this and go out and they spew this. And it's not, again, Mad Dog isn't the only reporter to do such things. Go back and read some of Jackie McMullen's shit. Go back and read some of Jack Ryan's shit. I'm talking about when these niggas was writing for the papers. Mind you, this is an era where they can't consume a Bezos. That paper is the only bit of basketball knowledge that they're going to get, besides either listening to it on the radio for their local team or potentially catching it on TV, depending on the year.
When you said basketball is the only sport where players aren't allowed to evolve, I took that as the conversation right now. And the conversation right now is completely different than what it was 20 years ago. And also, you went from this can't happen to a lot of people think this way. A lot of people also think the other way.
I think Bezos, for a majority of people, and I think in basketball it's more divided than it is in other sports. If that makes it better, I think for basketball it is much more divided than it is in like football. In football, we'll bring up Johnny Unitas or we'll bring up a Terry Bradshaw or whatever. We can bring them up. Ain't no problem with paying homage. Oh yeah, Will was great in his day. Yeah, Terry was great in his day. Man, them niggas ain't slinging it like no Josh Allen. It ain't even it's really not even no conversation. It's really not even a conversation about comparing errors. It's really not.
I just think it's a disservice to how progressive NBA conversations have gone. When, I don't know, just your sentiment is like, it hasn't really changed. Like, there's still a lot to be done within the NBA conversation. When it has progressed a lot. Not to say that there's no room for improvement, but it has progressed a lot. Like, we've gotten to the point where the MVP isn't just best player on the best team. Like, in the 2000s, that was the case. That is not the case anymore.
I don't know if I use the word.
Was that the case in the 2000s?
1990s, 2000s, whatever you want.
But was that the case in the 2000s that it was just best player on best team that got the MVP?
That was a majority, at least from my understanding. it was a lot of who was the guy putting up really good stats on extreme winning. Now we're having these nuanced conversation. Like just compare the conversation now compared to I don't know in 2007 when Dirk was getting MVPs, when Nash was getting MVPs or whatever. I feel like back then it was a lot of who is the best player on the best team.
I don't know. I would love to use the word progressive, B-Souls. I use ironic and hypocrisy when it comes to basketball conversations nowadays. Because a year ago, people were talking about would MJ average fucking 40 in this era. And now we're sitting here because some dude on TikTok pointed out the left hand. And it's not like the games dropped a year ago. Now we're sitting here, yo, would he even be Jaylen Brown? So it's I don't know if I'm calling that progression, man. I'll be very honest with you.
Who was saying that he could drop 40? It sounded like the same guys.
It's like a lot of people, like a ton. I mean, I'll pull up YouTube videos, I guess, but
I remember it being the old niggas saying that he would drop 40.
Yeah, a lot of old niggas, a couple of young niggas, pretty much anybody that believed that Michael Jordan was great, again, prior to this month, was of the mindset that, oh yeah, MJ in this era is averaging like 35. Kobe in this era is averaging like 38. Like that's not a foreign conversation. I don't even think I'm pretty sure we've had that conversation.
What I'm saying is those are the narrative pushers, Sage. Those are the old narrative pushers. Michael Wilbon would have a conversation with damn, what's buddy name? What's white boy name? That's across from Michael Wilbon.
Damn, I ain't shit. I don't know his name.
Y'all know who I'm talking about.
Chad got it.
But those are the people that would be saying, "Oh my God, Elgin Baylor would drop 90 in this era with all this spacing." Not if he can't go left. He can barely go right. Tony Kornheiser. That nigga
sound like the circle of life. Then this what I think the NBA is versus like the NFL. And someone pointed out quarterbacks, but even in quarterbacks, we just chalk what they do. The old heads do is chalk it up to it being a passing man's game now, more so than old guy would solo new guy. But what basketball does now, I think maybe it's just a situation like how music is pretty synonymous, and even the cultures in rap music and basketball are pretty similar. So maybe that's what it is, a situation where my era is always the best. The old era is going to be the one talking about it because they can't play no more. The new era is going to sit there and be like, this nigga can't even go left. And then once the new era is sitting in there, people are going to be defending the 2020s. And then niggas in the 2040s are going to be on some shit like, y'all don't even average 200 a game. What are we doing? So I don't know. It's something, maybe I'm not the guy to point it out. Maybe I need to spend more time. We are live, of course. But it's something that's way the fuck, and we can all agree here, way the fuck off about NBA discourse because hey, at the dumbest decimal, conversations about 90s basketball change in the 2010s, and then they inverse back to what they were in the 90s and the 2020s. And then by the 2030s, I guarantee you, we're going to go back to how Michael Jordan would average 50. So it's just so ironic and weird. I don't know what it is.
I still think Jordan could average 30 in today's league, but maybe not 40.
I don't know what the motherfucker would average because he was in the 90s, and the 90s sucks. Oh, I ain't your friend, old heads. I hate all that old shit. If I weren't born to see it, I don't care about it. But what I don't do is, point out lowlights and shit. Like people gonna do this to Bron. So people gonna do this to Bron.
They were doing that with Bron in 2018 with the whole defense shit.
Yeah,
I don't know any sport or anything pop culture related where the new era pays homage, respects the old era, and the old era respectfully releases the reins of what used to be and praises the new game or new era for being better, more whatever it is, or just giving them their flowers. No matter what it is, it's everything has nostalgia with it. Whether it's media, whether it's music, whether it's TV, movie. When I say media, TVs and movies, whether it's music, whether it's sports, whatever it is, that is always going to be the conversation.
No, that's not the case in movies, but it's a lot of actors that give praise to, especially because I think they give more praise because they're doing shit differently. They're giving a lot of praise to the young people.
Well, I was talking more so fans versus the actual professionals.
Oh, I was about to heavy disagree.
Yeah, I was talking about the fans.
I was about to say, look, I hate to be a football merchant, but you had to show me maybe an outline clip. Most of the football niggas literally go, for quarterbacks, passing man's game, and then they'll get whatever the shit off. Everything else, they'll always be like, "Yo, don't hate on this young brother."
No.
Football is like the sport that is actually kind to the past and future generations.
I'm talking about fans. I'm talking about fans,
okay.
The casual fans, diehard fans, the people having these conversations like we were thinking of. I know Omar was speaking more so of the entities that was in charge of spreading the message, and then people would just run with that. So if you had a biased person, if you had Skip Bayless in the 80s or 90s, and he was in charge of that region's paper or that region's ability to whichever like intake their sports intake. If it came from Skip Bayless, it was going to have a skewed view of how you fucking view LeBron James and a skewed view of how you viewed Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan's the GOAT. He can do no wrong. He's the greatest. Everyone's going to echo that because, like Omar said, niggas are not going to the games for real. Everybody's not going to the game. Like, everybody's not going to the game. Niggas are not watching every game. Hell, nowadays, people have the access to watch damn near anybody play and choose not to. Back in the day, niggas just couldn't. Like, you couldn't watch everybody. You really could. You barely could watch your team play to keep it hot. It was hard to find your team playing any given night, depending on where you were at.
And that's what I've been trying to tell people, because especially if you talk about the TV contracts and stuff like that, dog, y'all was not watching these games. Y'all was not watching these games. We might be getting to a point where maybe it's too much on TV, so people aren't watching it now. But like, it's a better thing. But people are definitely watching more games now because it's easier to watch games now than it was to watch games back in the day. It just that is literally factually true. And it's amazing. It's amazing that people can't see this when it comes across the board. You know, I'm gonna try to slide like some women's basketball into this, but when you put it on TV, people will watch and people will become more knowledgeable. People will start to appreciate more. These things are no longer Aesop's fables. People can understand the game more, and people can have better conversations about these things, as opposed to, oh shit, MJ's got to be MJ was going left, right, up, down, side. Oh, he was just taking on a whole team. And when you watch it, that don't be the case. That don't be the case. Let me play this little bit of Wilt real quick. Our guy.
Our player who's bitter about having missed the window of opportunity. There's all that.
It's Chumperlane.
I'm not bitter. I'm really sad. You know what I'm saying? That I missed a chance to make all that money that they're now making. But no, I'm not bitter because I think that I played in the golden age. I think that I played when athletes really, truly loved what they were doing. I think basketball was at its peak as far as the game being played correctly, technically, and for love, as I see it. And I'm very happy to have been a part of that. And I am not bitter. I'm a sports fan. I watch everything you can possibly watch. There are many great athletes out there and many people who are playing who feel the same way as I do. But there are too many out there who only are interested in making that buck.
But I don't see that basketball is necessarily crumbling when you talk about some of the problems. But before we take the break, in your book, Who's Running the Asylum, you talk about a number of issues. Are there any solutions that you can rattle off?
Oh, yeah, but when I say crumbling, you mean to think it's disparity? There's 8 or 9 teams out there last year who played 300 ball and less. I've never seen that when I was playing. If that's not crumbling, I don't know what is crumbling. You understand? So, yeah, there is a way to have a solution. When you have new teams coming to the league, give them a chance to have better people on their team. They have a grab bag situation, which they throw in the 3 or 4 worst guys from each team into a grab bag, and one guy is picked to be on each of the teams, the new teams. Well, how about, only being able to hold 5 guys back on each team and give something good in that grab bag so the new teams can start off with some good players. And that's one way to solve some of the problems of non-parity which you have today.
All right, we'll continue talking with the
9 teams, that 300. What year is this? 97? Mm-hmm. He must be talking about expansion.
No. When he's saying 300 ball, I think he's talking about win percentage. So
yeah, that's what I think he means.
Oh, okay.
Under 300, 19.
Which is crazy. 19 on that's insane. That's insane.
That's a lot. Now, mind you, it's 96. I think that's when Mike and them went 72 and 10, though. And I've said that too, though. Man, we done with the 90s, man.
Garbage.
We done.
I was never with old basketball that I didn't see. I just think that y'all fans are hypocrites as fuck.
And can I point out, which is super odd, how every era thinks that their era cared more. Like, you let niggas tell it today. The niggas in the 90s cared about basketball. They were hoopers. what was going out. We ain't had no social media. We wasn't streaming and playing video games. We was in the gym. You asked Will Chamberlain, the niggas in the 60s cared more, and they was dealing with fucking Jim Crow. That's crazy. Like, that's insane.
Yeah, they had other things to care about.
You let Wilt tell it, oh my God, these niggas today making too much money. Hey man, they don't love it like we did back in my day at Chuck Taylor's. So who the are niggas lying? Like, are niggas, or is this a natural occurring thing of everyone's era because of nostalgia? You're gonna feel like is the best era. Like, man, in 2045, 2050, I promise you, I don't know what the game is gonna be, but people are gonna look back and be like, I ain't gonna lie, man. Niggas like Al Jefferson made all NBA. Al Jefferson, what were the 2010s? Like, that's gonna be the conversation. And
they're starting it with 2016 already. I don't know if you know.
That's how evolution should work, though. In my opinion, personally, for real.
Man, let's start eliminating people. Can't be the 60s. It was the first iteration of basketball. Can't be 70s. Everybody says it's fucking weak. They're out of there. Yeah. I'd say get this year the fuck up on out of here. Everyone from every era complains about the defense. Get this era gone too. So we got 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s. Sound about right. All right. I ain't see the 80s. So for me, you're done. Let's see. 90s, 2000s, 2010s. Uh-oh. Where was I born, right? 2010s had super teams. Pissed me off. Get out of here. You're done. All right. Wow. Where was I born, huh? Ironic. Let's see. Gun to my head, man.
You be saying 2000s are dog
damn,
shit.
but the 2000 niggas couldn't shoot the ball.
2010s had no great big men.
All people are going to do is you're going to pick whatever era you grew up on. It is rare to find a person who grew up. It is so rare to find a person who grew up watching. Let's say somebody grew up watching 70s and 80s ball, and they are diehard about today's game. It is hard to find that old head. That old head is hard to find. They'll just, I couldn't stand that shit back then when I was 17. That shit was awful. Now, this is what I wanted the game to be. That nigga's an anomaly. Just like now, it is going to be hard set for you to find somebody between the ages of 26 to 17 that'll be like, I grew up with the 2000s and 2010s ball. There's something about that grain on the 80s film. I just love it. Like, no.
The short shorts. The short shorts.
It's not.
I just love it, man. The complexities and the simplicity. Like, no one is doing that. They're going to revert to what they grew up on 9 times out of 10, or what they perceive as good ball going forward to a reasonable extent. At a certain point, niggas, when they get 40 and 50, I don't know if it's just instincts. I don't know what it is. Eventually, you just feel like it's dick suck to just praise these niggas 30 years younger than you. I don't know. I just feel like at a certain point, the niggas just stop. Like, it's just like, all right. I'm 59. How much can I tell you about LeBron James Jr. being this great? Like, that shit just gonna end up stopping.
I just hope I'm a progressive old nigga in the sense of like, hey man, the young bucks doing it different. I hope I'm a progressive, because even right now, if it weren't for like the defensive issues, which anybody says it's not okay, but yeah, if it weren't for that, I'd argue even it now. But it's whatever. But I think that's the thing. A lot of people in everything, not even just sports, can't accept when the best product is the product they have currently. And then simultaneously, it's a pendulum. There's people that can't accept, you are living in some bull. You're like, you are living in some absolute bull. I promise you go back 5 years, even you'd see a difference. So it's just human nature at the end of the day. I'm gonna keep calling y'all hypocrites more than anything else, because this shit's nasty.
Okay, I get it. We're joking, but I would like to ask. I like everything.
Joking.
No. I'm talking like it's funny. The we done with the 80 shit is some funny shit. I'm memeing with the chat and everything.
Okay.
But can we agree that low light clipping is not the best way to represent a whole decade of basketball and say why it's ass?
Oh no.
Sure. If you watch the game, though, you can feel the same way. That shit does not change my mind about anything.
Yeah. Obviously, the low light shit, that's going to be a culture. It was originally. I'm not going to act like it's the first time it's ever been done. Obviously,
it's not the
LeBron,
first. Barry McCockner was the
James.
first one I remember.
Yeah, I'm about to say. Obviously, LeBron, Ramon James, me and Souls have reacted to Barry videos, but if it's TikTok, so if we're gonna have a bunch of people that can do that for funsies and it's a trend now, I'm just gonna call out now. Yo, everyone wasn't bad. We're gonna get to a point where everyone sucks at basketball and all eras were trash. So I'm just gonna say now, y'all doing a lot of bitching.
I'll monitor souls. The fun conversations were like 20 minutes ago. It's like the last 15. What the hell?
I don't even fuck. Is that my fault? Oh well.
No, it's not you.
Okay.
I just want to say this to the media propaganders out there specifically. I don't know if y'all saw the chairman of Kellogg, the CEO of Kellogg, the cereal brand, came out.
And my man's passed.
Huh?
Was it him? Someone passed. Somebody.
Oh,
Pop Tarts.
I'm not saying it was Pop Tarts.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah, I ain't ready for that. No.
We gotta put one Pop Tart in a toaster for them.
Right.
But anyway, so the CEO of Kellogg came out, and he was like, they for whatever reason, he's talking about struggling economy and stuff like that. And Kellogg brand is doing pretty bad apparently from a stock perspective, but nonetheless, he says we got to reach the consumer where they are. So we're advertising about cereal for dinner. If you think about the cost of cereal for a family versus what they might do otherwise, that's going to be a much more affordable proposition for them, right?
Mm.
When you, what do you say? A box of cereal or a bowl of cereal is like $1 and some change. A bowl of cereal and some fruit is $1 and some change, right? Versus if you made a whole meal. I say that to say apparently they're struggling to sell stuff right now because people are finding out about cereal. People are finding out the truth. It's hella sugars, it's hella unhealthy and all this. But I don't know if y'all know. Well, y'all know because we went to the same schools, the same American public school system. They used to tell people cereal was healthy. It's a part of your balanced diet. It's got the corn and the fiber that you need, right? But now, all they doing is just pulling back the curtain and they seeing what's behind it. That's all people doing with this bullshit. They pulling back the curtain on the stories about MJ, the stories about, Karl Malone, the stories about David Robinson, Patrick Ewing, Charles Barkley. They pulling back the curtain on all these bitch ass niggas. Especially Larry Bird. I ain't gonna lie, Larry Bird and Dominique Wilkins caught it the worst. Oh, Dr. J caught it the worst. Dr. J looks so garbage.
I think the king is still John Stockton, but I've been saying Larry Bird ain't better than Luka.
Not even close.
Been saying that. Hey man, it is what it is. I ain't had Bill in the top 10 in a minute. I ain't had Wilt Barry. I don't think I got Wilt there right now. Yeah, he probably not there. Hey, look. Old heads that are like, oh yeah, Sage on our side. Let me get it. This I ain't seen niggas sport. I ain't on your side. I'm just against the new niggas. That's all it is. But the old niggas,
y'all seen Duncan Robinson off the dribble the other day?
Duncan Robinson looked like a witch in the 60s.
Come on,
now. I'm gonna tell you this. I done seen Duncan Anthonazis hit that same move. That move just might be easy as shit. We just don't know. I'm not gonna.
Which one?
I'm gonna show you.
That little behind the back shit.
Now, mind you, he did it on a defender now.
Advancing the basketball while here's
on a sir? DPOY or sir?
Really fools Thompson, who's
that nigga just wasn't him. He just was not prepared for that shit. He was like, that's in the back.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, that's one of them buckets. It's like Duncan. Oh shit.
So since
look at his face afterwards. He's like,
it's one of those. It's one of those.
Man, JJ Redick can't do shit with Duncan Robinson. Kyle Korver not fucking with Duncan Robinson.
Whoa, Kyle Korver.
Hey, I'm gonna lie to you. Nah, Kyle Korver wasn't putting that bitch on the ground.
No, Kyle Korver ain't fucking with him on the handles, but I think Kyle Korver got one of the most underrated skills in history. Being able to shoot and giving any torque of your body, that nigga Kyle Korver should go sideways.
We done with the 2000s, man. Listen, we done with the 2000s. Let's be honest.
Oh, man.
All right, we talk about him putting that rock on the floor.
If my shooters is shooting 40s, and they can put that bitch on the ground, and they taking tougher shots. Stop it, man. We got to stop it.
I got to pull out the Orlando.
I'm done with basketball at this point. All these motherfuckers suck, man.
Apparently,
that's evolution. That's evolution. That's the way it should be. That's the way it should. Kyle Korver should suck. We should be looking for shooters to do more.
You ain't doing no 2000s. You ain't doing no 2000s. You ain't doing no 2000s, my boy. Y'all over here bitching about some Duncan Robinson. Deshaun Stevenson would have locked him up. You don't know nothing about no Zebo. You don't know y'all wish I got UD. That's ours. You ain't got no tough guys in y'all era. Stop it. Soft.
And we done with that. We done with that weak ass shit, man. We done. All right? I thought Shane Battier was a shooter till I look back. Come on, dog.
We had snipers. Boy, oh boy, you don't know nothing about no Ray Allen. You don't know nothing about him. Yeah, you want to talk about iconic shots? Ray Allen from the corner, bang, doing that as a uncle.
James Harden is about to pass all.
Hit that shot on you, nephew. Hit that shot, Neff.
Niggas said
ticket. I'm dead.
Y'all better learn something.
Bruce Bowen was a sniper shooting 2 threes a game.
That's fine. Hey, you know what Bruce would do
if he has defend him again. Defend him again.
You know what Bruce could do? Unlike some of these other motherfuckers, you got soft ass Wardell Curry, all them shit. We had no chill Gill, able to light them up, but quicker, stronger, and had the same shot. Oh.
Quicker, stroker is.
You know what's funny? Boris Diaw's another nigga had no left. Like he went on the bottom.
He don't need to go left. He go in the net
with my left hand. I always had to go back right every time.
Yeah, I don't know nothing about no Chris Humphries.
Speaking of,
you didn't know about Chris Humphries till he married a Kardashian.
You go. And that's your problem. You only know about the Kardashians. You don't know about Lala. You don't know about no Lala.
That's a conspiracy. That's a conspiracy. I swear to you, Chris Humphries was not in the NBA before he married Kim Kardashian. That nigga, he married her and just spawned on the Nets. I'm like, how the fuck did this happen?
Y'all talking about Kyrie handles. Y'all ain't seen Darren Williams with a basketball a day in y'all life.
Speaking of who we done with from that weak ass era, I don't know if y'all seen this nigga numbers. We done with Skip Bayless.
Oh no.
And we really been done with Skip Bayless, but we done. Skip Bayless's FS1's undisputed average just 50,000 viewers on Tuesday. This is back on March 2nd, around that time frame. Historically bad numbers. On the same day, ESPN's First Take averaged 486,000 viewers with Shannon Sharp.
Yeah, it has not popped up on my YouTube lately.
Give it up, Pops.
Do y'all even see the way they doing interviews and stuff? That nigga Skip Bayless is reaching for stuff for real.
Yeah. I seen the Drewski one. That was bad. It was bad.
They got some other bad ones. Let's break down what happened so other people can avoid this. What happened?
Oh, pivot failed. What I don't know. Yeah, I relate to that a little bit, but not to be a narcissist. He had Skip and Shannon undisputed. There was an expectation of entertainment that you provided for your viewers. Souls has tried to tell me this lesson all the time, and yet, it is what it is. He made the decision to say, yeah, nah, fuck the expectation. Fuck those viewers that might leave. Nah, I'm gonna do my own thing. I ain't gonna lie. Niggas wasn't trying to join the Skip verse. I don't, that's all it really is at the end of the day. People weren't interested in seeing him talk about the same players over, and then rather than the actual star that they preferred, you had a guy that was just energy in Michael Irving. And then speaking of that translates to the second thing. It became less credible for basketball because even if you don't think Shannon Sharp's the smartest mind, he's at least an opinion guy that like people were at some point accepting of. Niggas ain't ever were accustomed to Michael Irving and Richard Sherman talking about basketball. Niggas was never going to even give that a shot considering where those fans were. If you were going to rebrand the entire show and get rid of Shannon, I spoiled what I was going to say. But if you was going to get rid of Shannon Sharp, rebrand the whole show. At that point, rebrand the show, take a year off, call it the Sherm's Undisputed or something. I don't fucking know. I'm not a fucking creative nigga. But at the end of the day, like they fucked all of that up, trying to keep the name, keep the logo, keep Lil Wayne on with the theme song, all that stuff, but not have Shannon Sharp there. Horrid move. I don't know who the fuck greenlit that. That was awful.
I think Skip overestimated how much people cared about him. I don't know how less bluntly to put it. Maybe in the beginning of the show, there was more like, in terms of who the viewers cared about the most, 50-50 split between him and Shannon because Shannon was the unproven talent. But by the end of the run, Shannon had more pull. By the end of the run, Shannon was the more entertaining guy. Shannon was the one making the more clips. The only time you looked at Skip Bayless was when he was talking about LeBron James and sometimes shitting on Kawhi, talking about the Dallas Cowboys. By the end of it, Shannon Sharp was the main attraction to that show, and he left. And this is the 50,000 you're seeing. Those are the guys who really like the format of the show so much or hate ESPN so much that they're not putting on ESPN. We're just watching Fox Sports in this household, that type of shit. So
50,000 is the people, when you go to get your oil changed and they got the TV on, they just got it on.
Yeah.
Barbershops. All them motherfuckers.
That's Sullivan Tires right there, man.
Yeah. So. and you look up to see what's going on and you just, because you forced to look
you don't even hear shit.
you just look back down, man. That shit just
captions.
Yeah, that's
because you can't hear it. You're working on the cars.
Oh no, they 2 minutes ahead. You like, wait a minute, America be free.
Coming up next.
After these commercial breaks, they're in a segment. What?
Yeah.
You go to get lunch at the place with the TVs and they got that shit on. You asking, is there anything else? Nah, nothing but Judge Mathis. Put that on. Something.
That's I wonder what they're doing show.
Yeah.
Nah, I'll say in terms of this, simply a lot of people forget how long Shannon was doing Undisputed. Like a lot of time did pass as they first started doing it. And I'm with Sage. He became a more credible basketball person to have credit, like that people took seriously in terms of having basketball conversations. Because at first it was rough. I'm not gonna lie to you. When he first started, people did not take that nigga serious. He had to win some people over, just like with anybody doing something new. You got to have that period where you win people over. And he went through that, built the cult following, and people found out how entertaining he was. The second thing, hey, man, this should be a lesson. Watch how you talk to your damn coworkers. Literally, watch how you talk to people. Watch how you talk. Don't take your business relationships for granted. If you're doing a group project, you better respect them niggas on that group project. I don't care who name is first. You better respect everybody putting in work because you'll be surprised by how much weight niggas is really pulling when somebody decides to walk away and you take the brunt of that. Now you're noticing. You gotta do all this gimmick ass shit of having Lil Wayne do fucking Fridays like he's Aaron Rodgers. Don't make him a damn what Lil Wayne thinks. I don't care Lil Wayne's goddamn sports opinions.
Wrong studio.
Like literally, like nigga, where's the album? Drop a mixtape. I don't give a damn about your Lil Wayne half-ass talking about the damn Celtics. I don't give a damn. Like, and I'm glad they're starting to see this. I'm glad the numbers are coming back. Maybe you'll scrap the show and you just, I don't know, start a podcast, man. Nigga, I don't know what to tell you. This shit's done. This shit's curtains. This shit's cooked. Unless you rebrand and you come up with something that is just so innovative. At this point, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Hit us up. Hit up Kenny. Hit up a lot of these niggas. Hit up the basketball community and let us come save Fox Sports because that shit is done. And if you niggas want to compete with ESPN, you gotta look further in the future. Them niggas that Pat McAfee, cool. Get everybody else in the basketball community. We'll turn that bitch up.
Also, I think Skip Bayless just hasn't evolved at all as a journalist, media personality.
That's what I was going to get into.
Like even if you look at Stephen A, he's embracing the young generation, having Kenny on his platform. He's creating his own platform on YouTube. He's doing the Twitter reacts, which has been I'm gonna be honest with you. I get the appeal now why he keeps doing it. They're extremely entertaining. But Skip Bayless, like what has he done? He's just clock in, clock out. He's not. Hey, we talked about this for the pod. He's not doing the punts. It's just clock in, clock out. Let's play it safe. But in this media space, you cannot survive without experimenting and taking punts. You gotta punt more, bro.
I that's what I was gonna say. This shit catching up to you. You got the same shtick for years. You got the same shtick for years, and there's a reason why he added the hottest rapper of 2006. It's because people have just continuously stopped fucking with you. The only thing that separates you from Jason Whitlock is a sprinkle of racism, right? You had
200 pounds.
He refused to eat. I ain't gonna lie.
And a lot of sprinkles.
But
a lot of sprinkles.
I watch him play. I be watching a couple of videos every once in a while just to see what's going on. Me, stay over there. So you got the same shtick. So stop.
Now I'm trying to cut up for real though, bro.
You had the same shtick for years, and it's tired. Like Biso said, you're not innovating, you're not adding things. The guest list is tired. We just seen that song and dance. You're talking about the same people, the same things every year. It's tired. You're not trying to do anything crazy. And Shannon Sharp, you really underestimated his talents. You should have threw him a bag and some change, and then threw more money at him because he's just blown up. These new things that Shannon Sharp is doing is crazy. So he sat down with Steve Stout and Steve. Everybody asked him about Skip Bayless. Everybody asked Shannon Sharp about Skip Bayless. This Steve Stout had to say about Skip Bayless.
I don't know, but you know what? Even outside of the digital, and I ask you something, man. I watch your ex-partner, not your partner, your ex-host, Skip. I don't even understand why all these other black athletes even go on the show now. I don't even understand what they're doing. To me, it's so clear that he needs black talent, athletes, rappers. He's doing everything to prop himself up. And I know he's getting paid over there, and everybody else is getting pennies on the dollar. And I'm like, why would you do that? Why would you go over there and do that?
Look at how straight that nigga
He
is.
clearly isn't the guy. He needs you. Why don't everybody leave the show and let's watch him do it for a minute? That show would be dead immediately. They get all these guys over there, they give him pennies on the dollar, and they prop him up. I'm like, we got to stop doing that, man. We can't do that no more. It's not worth it. And there's nothing that comes out of it long term.
I would love to hear what Shannon said, like to add on to that, because they were like, Shannon must have not like they really had to have fallen out to just sit there and listen to so many people talk shit about Skip in front of him and him just, yep. Yep.
That's tough. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah. Anyway, the album, right? Like, he really got to not fuck with Skip. Because any other situation, I can't imagine Omar leaves and then we get somebody, and Omar got, man, I just wanted to host, didn't he? Hey, whoa, relax. Oh, it's cool. Nigga, anybody, like, I couldn't imagine just sitting there and letting somebody badmouth somebody I fuck with. So he can't fuck with this nigga, right? Like, I can't be the only one to feel, like, thinks that.
Like, nah, making the okay face is crazy. I'm even like, going back to like Skip just like not evolving. I'm just like, when I really think about old conversations that we had as well, we're always saying like, who's gonna be the next guy Skip hates on, or like even checking his Twitter right now, he still doesn't follow anybody. He's kind of just like,
I don't think he hating enough, low key.
Yeah, he's kind of just like still doing the exact same things, and except he's not even applying the newer names. He's still talking about LeBron. He's still boosting Kawhi. He's still boosting the Cowboys. So it's like these biases aren't even necessarily changing. Like, I thought the evolution of Skip Bayless at this point would be like OD hating Luka. I thought it would be, my Spurs are him with Wemby. I haven't heard him talk about Wemby, so fair enough. But I thought we would definitely see Skip trending about Wembanyama by now. And definitely picking another guy to dunk on, maybe SGA. But instead, it's just still Kawhi. It's still the Lakers and LeBron, and it's still Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? One person, and we were talking about somebody that doesn't add new names. I was thinking about that when you were saying it, Sage. Never hear this shit coming out of Colin Cowherd's camp. Never. Listen, Colin, and I'm not saying Colin good. I'm just saying that boy Colin knows how to add new niggas to hate on. Colin, if it was one thing Cowherd gonna do, he gonna hate. And he is going to update that hate resume every season. Football, basketball, no matter what. Colin Cowherd is going to constantly hate, and he gonna hate new niggas. He's gonna love new niggas as well. He's gonna boost up somebody else, really try to put him on a pedestal. I give it to him. We have not, through this whole debacle going on Fox, I have not heard anyone talking about the ratings over on the Herd. Like that, I guess that 2 hours, viewership goes regular. Like everybody else frantic. When the Herd come on, hey, that nigga's consistent. That boy good.
Yeah, he's not even a good old head, bro. Like I I don't think he even. Maybe I just didn't see it, but I don't think like the whole defense argument about the NBA. No defense is being played. Like I didn't hear Skip Bayless take on that at all. Did he say anything about that? Maybe that's on the production staff. I don't know, but I didn't hear anything about that. But just going back to Shannon though, I think in hindsight, unless FS1 threw him an unreasonable bag that financially wouldn't even make sense, I don't think anything was gonna make Shannon Sharp resign. Because I think ESPN hasn't even hired him full time. Like he's still a part-time first taker, essentially. So I think the meta now for a lot of these media heads is like, because JJ Redick does the same thing. I'm gonna take the quick bag to go on first take. I'm gonna take the bag to commentate some NBA games, but I'm gonna build my own platform where I can control what I say. And if I do get bought out, I'm getting bought out Pat McAfee style instead of you're just a talent on a first take. I think that's Shannon's goal. If ESPN reaches out to him and wants Club Shay Shay or Nightcap fully produced out, I think that's what he's waiting on, to be honest with you.
I actually disagree with you. Only because of the way Shannon Sharp talked about his transition from FS1. He was in no man's land, had no clue what he was going to do. He's a simple dude. And as long as he was able to, one, be respected, and two, get paid from it, I don't think he would have ever done any sort of switch. I think if they would have continued down this road, he would have continued to participate in whatever Fox endeavor.
But I think even when he was talking about that, like he's reflecting from a point of I know different now that I'm a year removed from that situation. Like I think even with the way Gil is talking about,
he wasn't even a year removed.
Has it not been a year?
No, I'm saying when he said this was maybe a week after it was announced that he was coming over. This was like when Stephen A was going around talking about the situation. This was like a week removed. He was like, I would have went back. Like Toon said it in the chat. They just didn't offer him. They didn't offer him anything. They just didn't offer. They Jalen Brunson them. They just didn't offer him anything. If he would have got offered, he would have said, "Oh shit," similar to Jalen Brunson. Oh yeah, I'll take 454. I just want it safe. I'm comfortable here. I like the setup. He would have just took it.
Okay. I mean, yeah. I guess. Yeah. I mean, I can't really refute that. But I think that his mindset right now. I think that's his mindset right now.
Oh, he's not turning back, and he's not looking to do anything more major with ESPN. I can almost guarantee that.
We all agree. Yeah,
he ain't looking to do nothing more.
But another thing we all agree on, chat, close out the segment. Yeah, don't be a dick to people.
Facts.
Just Damo alluded to it. No, Damo directly said it. I'm just gonna echo it because that's probably the best point we had. Yeah, he was an asshole on live television. Just don't be an asshole to not just Shannon Sharp, but to every fucking body. Like his whole thing is being a hater. Just don't be a dick to people.
And Fox is stupid too, because they should have really. I see somebody do it. Fox should have offered Shannon Sharp so much money.
Oh yeah,
so we'll get Skip Bayless out of here.
You will offer Shannon and Nick undisputed
because he was looking for somebody. Go ahead.
I bet money that if this was an inverse and Skip ended up being like, you know what, I'm done, I'm out of here, and he walked off, and they was allowing Shannon to bring on Ocho Cinco to do the new undisputed or whoever he wanted, it'll be the exact inverse of what's happening now. Fox is recording a record high.
Oh man,
has a new viewership. ESPN is they done threw Pat McAfee $1 billion.
Skip does have a counterplay though. I'll be fair. He'll bait the fuck out of nostalgia niggas. He go back to first take.
I think that's done because I'll say this, Sage. Remember at the time before Shannon got on, first take was in a weird place. First take was in limbo.
Yeah.
I don't think Skip going back to first take would have boosted it enough. 1, 2, I don't even think that would have lasted 2 months, dog.
Well, lasting 2 months. I hear you there because I feel like the ship sailed for a reason. They're just trying to rekindle it for views and shit. But they say they're close friends. But who wouldn't say that, right? But who wouldn't say that? But in regards to boosting the views, hey, it'll boost them in my opinion. I say that they'll get them. Because it'll just be like, oh my God thing. Now, how long would those views stay boosted? That's a whole different conversation. Like, would the shock value of it last a month? They would have to hit the ground running. They would have to go back to the ASA 9, ASA 10, ASA 11, ASA 12 type shit. Otherwise, it's over.
It could also be as simple as in the athlete white dude new meta, they rolled with the white dude instead of the athlete. Like, come on, bro. Come on, bro.
Whole time he's the B character now. And in every other situation, Trae Young, John Wall, Paul George, the white guy is the B.
Yeah.
He's the B now.
They picked the B.
They picked the B. That's fucked up. They did pick the B. I want to go on. First, I want to shout out.
It might have just been as simple as that, bro.
Really scrolling just on my For You page. No shade, no disrespect. I found one of our kids. The B Soul's influence is crazy. I'm telling
this
you.
ain't right.
What you mean?
Nah, this you, twin.
Do they know us? Are they sub to us?
From what I'm looking at, yes.
Okay, I mean we could check our subs, but hey, shout out to them.
Yeah, shout out to them.
You about to bully niggas, bro. This ain't right,
I'm
man.
not. I'm gonna go back and listen to this, but this just look like
introing as one of our sons is crazy.
You said one of our sons.
Shout out to them. That's all I gotta say, man. Shout out to them, bro.
And then chat may not know what you're alluding to showing the screen. I know what
we
you're
talking about George Karl. That was
insane.
I found the
Be
font.
cancer
like
3 times is insane.
Undefeated.
And
because I mean, like
maybe they just know Tings. Tings is doing thumbnails for them.
Okay, well shout out to
Tings.
Shout out to Tings as well. Why LeBron James ex teammates can't let his meat go? Now this is a turn of events that I did not think I would see. Truth be told,
MJ's can't either. So
wait, which former teammate?
That's true too. Let's pop in the South Beach first before we go forward.
Oh my God!
If you stayed healthy, would have been still be playing.
Everybody think that our most important player was Brown. Our most important player, not our best player, but our most important player was CB.
Yeah, damn.
He was our most important player. Because if Brown went down, you could bring in D Wade, and it's not the same player, but you're gonna get similar results of what you're gonna get out of the player. Making plays, he can go for 30. We couldn't simulate it. We ain't have another CB. If that one went down and he got hurt, we didn't have another one of those.
And the way Spo started using him too was impossible to guard. Like he was shooting threes. Like it was.
That's why
that man was cold, brother.
He closed it out on threes as a big.
That's what I'm
Like,
saying. And that was back when no
pop
one
threes too.
did that.
Picking pop threes.
Heat culture.
Is he not
an argument? There's
an argument. I mean,
there's an argument.
He was telling the truth.
Wait a minute. You thought I was gonna come with only one of LeBron's old teammates.
Here comes Norris Cole.
You've got a new challenger.
Oh my God, I was right.
Shout out my dog Koala.
Big
This is
Cole.
one of my friend's favorite player in history. I swear to God.
He really just put it out. It was a couple of,
because obviously Bron, you know, everything started with Bron. But what UD said was correct. We ain't had nobody else like CB. You know, if Bron went out, you know, nobody is Bron, but D Wade can put on a clinic and put 35, 40 up, get 8 assists for a couple series if we needed him to. If CB was out for too long, we had nobody else like him to create those mismatches. So in the context of what he's talking about, it's fact, you know, it is a fact. Bron was our best player, but, you know, without CB, you know, we don't win those champs because he's the only model like him on our team. You know, no one was 6'9", 6'10", who could pick and pop, who could pick a short roll, who can also ISO, who can guard multiple positions, who can lead our small ball lineup. We had nobody else like that. We just didn't, you know.
Oh, my bad.
And if Bron, obviously, you know, like I said, we all know who Bron is, but D Wade is used to. It's easy for D Wade to step up and do more. You know, if, you know, God forbid, something would have happened to Bron during the series or whatever. You know, when we lost CB, we sustained as long as we could, but when he came back, we became unbeatable. Like when he came back from his, when he tore his lower abdominal muscle, he was out for a stretch of games. We struggled. You know, we made it happen, but we struggled. But when he came back, you know, he came back playoff. We became unbeatable when he came back.
And we know Mario Chalmers be on Bron Dick, so
I mean, the argument it sounds very, very similar to how Celtics fans talk about Kristaps Porzingis. Like no one is saying Kristaps Porzingis is the best player on the team.
I don't talk about the fans be so. I'm talking about the players on the team.
Okay, I mean I don't think they're hating. Is that the question? What's the question?
Why they can't let it? First of all, this is hate.
I guess if you take
Can
it
you
that way.
explain? Elaborate. How is this hate?
The most important player for the Miami Heat is Chris Bosh.
Yes.
Not your multiple-time MVP, multiple-time Finals MVP.
Well, I was about to say at the end of my statement was I still disagree, but I see where they're coming from. Because again, Celtics fans talk about KP the same way. Because when he's on the court, we're a completely different team. But Jason Tatum's still our best player.
It's a matter of how you view basketball. Someone's in chat just typed, it's like that. It's like, was Draymond the most important warrior?
Yeah.
Is Ibaka like one of the more important Thunder players? Like it's one of those things where exactly it's in you'll have a situation where someone will go.
Gasol the most important Laker.
Yeah,
Gasol.
Yes.
Okay, he's
like
consistent.
that.
He's consistent. Then.
It's one of those things where it's like, who is that player? Who is that player on the team where nothing works without them in terms of the schematic? However, where I'll always say it's the situation where we're just giving another player their flowers or their credit versus just being completely fair is because as casual as it sounds, man, look, y'all ain't got no LeBron. Y'all ain't winning no finals. So hey, I'm gonna put this shoulder up and say y'all be good. Y'all would probably, and I probably get booed out of the section for this. They're probably a better team if you delete LeBron and coach for that than deleting Bosh and coach for that. This probably, maybe, I guess, in terms of getting wins, but in terms of winning the ring, man. So I don't necessarily call it hate. That's where I disagree with Omar. But I'm definitely more so in the line of B-Souls. I disagree with the idea that he was more important, but he definitely it's an argument. I'm not mad at Damo for disagreeing. This is the most neutral take I've had thus far in like the past 4 pods because it's an argument to me.
It's like when you ask someone who's the X factor of a team, like what does the X factor of a team mean to you? Like is it their best player or like this one dude who, if they play like this, they're at a different level if they're not on the court.
It's like the offensive line or the quarterback type shit. It's like one of those.
In what conversation is an X factor even considered the best player on a team? In no context of having a conversation where someone asks who's the X factor of the series, you don't say the best player. If we look back in the history, and we're just going to keep it basketball, fuck other sports. In the history of basketball, you will scarcely find a team that if you remove the best player, they still win a championship. Duh. That's common sense. Everybody knows that. The best player is the best player for a reason. No one's going to argue that. But if you look at the makeup of those Heat teams, if you're telling me in a situation where in this context, LeBron goes down, they will rely on D-Wade to be the best player. Versus if Chris Bosh goes down, who's replacing him? Haslam, Joel Anthony, Dexter Pittman, Ilgauskas 1 year. Like there's nobody. Rashard Lewis past his prime. Like there's nobody. Shane Battier, nigga. Like there's nobody that if Chris Bosh goes down, you are comfortable, safe, or rely on to step up and fulfill that role. That is literally the conversation. All I heard UD say was, if Chris Bosh goes down, we're screwed. We don't have any other player to do anything like that. With LeBron, and he even said it, with LeBron, D-Wade can do similar things. He can score the ball for us, play make for others, be the star. Even Norris Cole chimed in. Yo, LeBron, he goes down. He's our best. Cole said himself. LeBron's our best player. They both said it. LeBron's the best player. But if he goes down, R2 can elevate his game and fulfill that role. We have someone to play similar to that role, and our engine still goes. If Chris Bosh goes down, we don't have a single player like that. And that is the situation with every great team when you say the most important piece. If Draymond goes down for the Warriors, there is no other Draymond variant on that team. You can't find it. If Paul Gasol goes down, the Lakers are fucked. There is no variant that's going to be able to fulfill that role of a Pau Gasol. Same thing with the Bulls. Hey, we done with the 90s, but that no left-handed menace, it looked real easy for him when Pippen's there. If Pippen not there, that nigga is getting fondled by everybody. We've seen the late 80s, they were fondling Jordan because Pip wasn't ready. But when Pip got there, he handled so many things and he won. If you listen to old heads, they'll tell you, hey, Jordan was the GOAT, but Pippen was the most important Bull. Hence, he was there for all 6.
If Kobe goes down, who's replacing Kobe?
Derek Fisher.
What?
If Kobe goes down, who's replacing Kobe?
Nobody.
So was Pau Gasol the most important, or was Kobe the most important?
And he ends his turn.
1-1, 1-1.
No, it's not 1-1 because I even said if you take the best player, you take the best player off any team, they don't win. Is Kobe the best player, Omar?
Yeah.
If you take him off the team, is the team winning, Omar? So then you agree with me. What are we doing?
Listen. Your whole point about, because you said Pau Gasol was the most important player, right?
Yes.
So if you take away Pau Gasol, you think the Lakers are winning?
No.
So Kobe and Pau Gasol are the most important players?
Kobe's the best player. Kobe's the best player. Pau is the most important. Just like with the Warriors, Stephen Curry is the best player. Draymond is the most important for the team.
Okay, so what's the difference? What's the how?
One player is carrying the workload. One player is the best. The player that the team is built around. But you also have it to it. You also have a player that literally does A, B, C amount of things that are key and vital to you winning a championship, because no one player can win a championship. It's a ton of best players on teams, but if you don't have that piece that can do everything around that player in any team in history, they don't win. You can't name a team that has an all-time player but did not have a quality role player, had a dirty work guy, had a guy that could do it all or did whatever was needed for winning. And you can find him like that's not a thing.
I agree with you, but with that being said,
you're playing semantic basketball with me. You're playing semantic games. You're playing games of semantics. You're arguing me about definitions. And Omar, I'm not about to do this with you. I'm going to tell you this.
When Damo cuts
teams
me off,
can have you have teams. You can have a no, because you're not about to try to do this genjutsu. Hey, buddy.
I'm asking you questions.
Release, buddy. You're not
a contender.
And all you're doing is asking me. You're going to keep
get my
asking
bias.
the same repetitive ass questions,
No,
trying
I'm
to get me to
not.
tell you the difference between best and most important, trying to bury it down to the best player is the most important. You're not going to get me, buddy. I am telling you, two things can be true. A team can have a best player and a team can have a most important player. In history of the NBA, that has always been the case. Every team had, majority of teams, I'm going to say every because I don't know off the top of my head, majority of the teams, especially in the modern era of basketball, had a best player and a player that you could deem most important to that team. And we already said again, we both agree, if you take the best player off of any team, they're not winning. We both agree there.
I agree with you. I don't disagree with you. I am just asking, could the same things that you said about Pau Gasol not be said about a lot of players on the Lakers?
No, not a lot of players. Then I would ask you, how many is a lot?
I'd say more than 2.
More than 2? I don't think so.
Okay.
Here you go.
On that 11 Lakers, if we're talking about the 10 or the 09 Lakers, more than 2 players, I don't know. I think Pau Gasol, and we're talking about just important, and Kobe is still there. Pau Gasol, and in my opinion, I would say one of the forwards that was defending. So Ron Artest or Trevor Ariza, give or take, are the two. That would be the 2. After that, I feel is capable of winning without anybody else. If those other guys are still there, we can still win with somebody else.
Okay, so if you take away Trevor Ariza, you take away Ron Artest, what do you think happens?
And Pau Gasol and Kobe are still there?
Pau Gasol, Kobe are still there. Y'all play the Jazz in the first round. Rockets.
I think we end up losing. I think we end up losing. Losing.
So at that point, how do you determine who's the most important player? If you take off Kobe, y'all losing. You take off Powell, I didn't even really ask, but I'm assuming y'all losing. You take off TA, y'all losing. That's 3 people.
Yeah.
Who is the most important player in that situation then?
I already told you. Pau Gasol is the most important. Kobe is the best.
So what's the difference? But you said TA as well. So what's the difference between Powell and Trevor Ariza in this conversation?
Tiers of importance. Powell is more important than Trevor Ariza. Trevor Ariza is too important.
Here comes a new challenger.
He's cooking, chat.
I didn't even bring up.
Pull it up, chat. Pull it up. Come on.
I didn't even bring up Lamar.
We're heading into game 5.
You didn't bring up Lamar. Yep.
So why is Trevor Ariza, or hell, we could continue down Meta World Peace? Why are they a tier below
Pau Gasol in terms of importance?
Yeah.
They're a tier below because the defense that they provide on the perimeter next to a Kobe and to relieve that stress from Kobe and allow him to still be the Mamba on offense. And again, I'm reflecting back to when I was a fucking child watching this, but the importance they played on defense would still make them important. The fact that they were clearly not as great as Powell offensively and could carry an offensive workload that Pau Gasol can would be why they are less important than Powell. Which is why Powell's most important. Pau Gasol any given night is like a 2000s Anthony Davis for that Lakers team. He could be one of the better offensive players and the best defender that night for us. Any given game.
If I'm not mistaken, y'all played some pretty good perimeter guys at key moments.
Which is why if they weren't there, it will be up to Kobe to try to defend. And God forbid we played a team with multiple perimeter guys.
Yeah, like Celtics. Because Paul Pierce played not too well. And I could almost assume that he was played by Meta World Peace. Am I wrong?
Artest doesn't hit that 3. We might win off that alone.
I'm about to say, yeah, Artest don't hit the 3.
There's a good amount of perimeter guys for the Suns, and I don't know if Kobe can guard all of them. Now, if we're gonna say Powell was guarding Amari, they could play like big trash. Amari was eating.
And any given moment, Andrew Bynum, goofy ass, would be injured. So Powell has now the responsibilities of full-time center. So solo post presence next to goddamn Josh Powell. Nah, that might be 2 different teams. I said Josh Powell.
Alexis Ajinga. No,
Jesus Christ.
I don't know if you said that year.
I mean, I hear it.
DJ Mingba.
Listen, the best player is the most important player to me. Simple as that to me.
Damn.
It was DJ, by the way.
Damn.
Because he talked more? I think that's crazy.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. They said it was a sweep. I can't give you a game. They said it was 52-9.
Damo's done this before where it's just like I'm a cut you off type thing.
Mm-hmm.
But go ahead.
We can repoll?
No, we don't have to repoll.
If I gifted, we can.
A repoll, 5 gifted repoll.
The concept of the best player not being the most important player is another one of those ESPN humdrum. I'm gonna give out a pity award, blase blah.
Damn, you're media.
We just want to give out. We want to give out more awards for these people, and that's fine. That's fine, I guess. But in reality, niggas say you are just yapping. Come up. The thing is out. The thing is, the shit is out. We legitimately have the StreamYard link out.
No.
Yes, man. It's pinned in the chat, y'all.
I'm about to say, come
go
on,
ahead.
guys.
I really just don't. The best player is the most important player. It is what it is.
Now, it's funny when you said that I just cut you off. And when I said all you're going to do is find a roundabout way to say that the best player is the most important player, you told me that's not what I was going to say. And that's how you just ended what you just said.
I was just
that the best player is the most important
consistency, to be quite honest with you. And we could go down the lineage of all these different things, but I was just testing your consistency, to be honest.
So you know me. You know me. I'm missing consistency more times than not. I care
Who is more times than not now? Okay.
More times than not.
Who was the most important player on the Bucks championship the other year?
The most important player on the Bucks 2021, Drew Holiday.
Drew Holiday was? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm assuming the best was. All right. What about when the Nuggets won recently?
The recent one for the Nuggets, the most important.
Mm-hmm.
It's too easy to say. It's too easy to say that Jokic is probably one of those rare cases where the best is the most important. But if I'm going to be Mr. Consistency on this one, I would say KCP or Aaron Gordon. One of those.
It has to be one of them.
What
makes
Jokic?
I would say more Aaron Gordon more than Jokic.
What makes Jokic like the special case?
Here comes a new challenger.
I'm not challenging. I'm just asking.
No. Because of how that team ran offensively, literally he was the hub for that team.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it's two sides to the basketball court. Not saying that Jokic is a cone, but defensively, what Aaron Gordon allowed that team to do and what he had to deal with, not what he had to deal with, just what he was doing, I would say kind of like a runner, not a lesser, but kind of a runner test type of ordeal. Because of how much he had on his plate defensively, yeah, nigga, that team, it wouldn't be no engine. Like you, who gives a fuck about offense at that point? You're the Pacers at that point if he's not there. You're the Pacers.
And I'm assuming you would say for Toronto when they won, it was Pascal Siakam or something like that?
No, for Toronto, I would say between Marc Gasol or Kyle Lowry.
Okay, so somebody not Kawhi, one of the.
Yeah,
Okay.
not Kawhi. Yeah.
Okay. And any of the Spurs teams in like the early 2000s?
2000 Spurs team again. Other time, I would have to go back and look at who. It's those are the filler rings. I have to go back and look at who are on them teams. I would have to. No, because I'm trying
We
to.
done with the 2000s. Told y'all,
But
man.
that might be one of, and those might be one of those cases where Tim Duncan is the best player, is the most important.
And then the same thing with 05-06 Miami.
Oh shit!
Oh, the Q&A getting packed, by the way. They are not scared this time.
Just 05-06 Miami. Just 05-06 Miami.
Alonzo Mourning.
Nah, I want to say though. I'm trying to think who perimeter defenders were at that time.
I got you, man. Come on.
I'm not reaching. I'm trying to make. I'm trying to make sure.
I looked up the Miami Floridan. Sorry.
Nah, I was still. I'll say D Wade just because of the lack of knowledge. I would say D Wade. Another case of the best player being the most important. But even in my argument, I say if you go back through the course of history, I mean more times than not.
Yeah.
So I left it for the room for the exceptions. There are exceptions.
They had Zoe, GP, Posey, UD, Jason Williams, Antoine Walker, and Shaq getting playoff minutes for real. Outside of Dwayne Wade, of course.
Young UD.
Yeah, you're right. Young UD. 25-year-old Udonis Haslem.
Let me see if there's anybody.
Ain't that just UD? No.
Who's coming? Hello? How you doing?
Let's see. Where do you lie on this
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes, sir.
Most of y'all are lagging for me. I can only hear souls normally, but what I came up here to say is like y'all were talking about like the 90s and how everything was like, well, I guess worse. Jordan.
We don't want to hear that right now.
Yeah, no. Relevance. Stay relevant, chat.
Chris Lord, how you doing today?
We on this topic.
Can y'all hear me?
Good, man.
Yo, you're.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we hear you.
Okay.
Closer
Which
to the
side
mic.
are you on?
Hold on, I'll set my headphones on real quick. All right, can you hear me now?
Yep.
Which side are you on?
So I agree with Damo only because when you look at like last year, right? Nuggets versus Lakers. I feel like if AD doesn't play well, they're not even competing against most of the teams, or even against like the Warriors. But I'd still say LeBron is the best player on the team. And so when you take teams,
We're talking about losers though. We're talking about winners.
but even in the Nuggets series last year, I would have said that Jamal Murray, the whole playoff run, he was more important than Jokic, because without Jamal Murray, they don't have like I don't think they have the same offensive presence without you.
Okay, I'm not gonna argue.
Round one.
I'm not gonna argue nobody. I'm gonna just let you sit in it. You just said Jamal Murray is more important than Jokic last year in the playoffs.
Offensively, more important offensively than Jokic.
No, that's not what he said.
No, he said that. He 100% said Jamal Murray is more important offensively than Jokic. That is 100% what he said.
I'll even.
He creates a huge distraction for the defense outside.
Great distraction.
And I'll let you sit in it again. I'm not gonna
Full
argue with you.
counter.
Thank you for your time.
I don't know. I'm be honest. Since the poll's over, I don't know how that discrepancy was like that between Damo and Omar, bro.
Zach, how you doing? You muted. You
You
muted.
look like my friend Alex, man.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yep.
Perfect. All right. No, I don't know why. I think I agree with Omar because why is the best player on the team not also the most important? Because I don't know why you're not saying Kawhi is the best. I'm a Toronto Raptors fan. Get out of the way. My cat's
Is that a cat?
Is that a raccoon?
Yeah, I got a cat. That's a cat.
I hate
So
cats.
like I'm a
Raptors.
Raptors fan. So like I definitely think that Kawhi was like the best player on our team because like bro, we were getting ran through every single time with DeMar. Like the fuck, we weren't getting out of the East at all. We were getting like to the finals, to the to the semis, and we were like not getting anywhere. And then we immediately added Kawhi, first year championships. Like I think, like personally in that department, it works. Like that he should be the best. And in a lot of other situations, why, if you take off the best player on the team, they're definitely not winning. Like 100% of the time, they're definitely not winning. Like I don't know what you think is gonna happen if the best player is just not there on the team. Do you think they're gonna win? Depending on the team, I don't think they are.
2018 Celtics.
Again, I'm not.
Well, actually, the Raptors would have won regardless because Kevin Durant was out.
I'm not arguing nothing. I'm just gonna ask them because that is the team you brought up was a very good point because I think we all remember specifically during that 76ers series how everybody was afraid to touch the ball, but Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah.
Again, not arguing nothing. Appreciate you, Zach.
Thanks, guys. Have a good day.
So it's 1-1.
Just crazy,
Bruh, I had to find one, bro.
Yo.
How you doing?
So, like, honestly, I agree with Omar because I really want to understand that, like, I need to see that you're not trolling. You just said Kentavious Caldwell Pope was more important to the Nuggets than Nikola Jokic. Like, does that even make sense? His responsibility is reduced so little to all he has to do is make wide open shots and play defense.
Okay, so this is the second person. So now I have to ask the question because I was going to ask Zach too. Did you niggas just not listen to me and waited to put Omar's cock in your mouths? Like y'all are literally Zach repeated word for word what I said, and you legit didn't even listen to what I said and questioned me on dumb shit. I genuinely said in that case, Jokic has an argument for being an exception, but for the sake of consistency, I would say because of the defensive end of the basketball, I would say Aaron Gordon or KCP. I'm leaning more towards Aaron Gordon. That is what I said.
Matters more than defense. So what?
No, I mean, and then that comes down to philosophy, and then I will ask you about your basketball history before we start arguing about basketball philosophy, because I refuse to argue philosophy with niggas that don't play basketball. I will say that defense wins championships. If you're going to tell me offense is more important than defense, then we can just agree to disagree, but then I will question your background.
You didn't play basketball, buddy. Next.
Yes, I did. What are you talking about?
Oh shit! Well, he got you. I don't know.
Playing basketball actively.
There we go.
For who?
Huh?
For who?
I don't know. I don't care. But I'm playing for the Soldiers. PNW Soldiers.
PNW Soldiers. Is that a school?
Yeah. No. Well, I did play for my school, but I'm playing. It's AAU. It's AAU.
Okay. So what year are you? 16U, 17U?
17 and up.
17U. Okay. I like it.
So what do we do there? Is his background valid or not?
No, background not valid. What?
How?
I will say it's definitely more credible. I'm glad he's just not a nigga that don't play basketball
to become the villain, man. I don't know.
That's crazy. But so you believe offense is more important than defense?
Yes.
Then we can just agree to disagree. That's why I made the comments that I made saying Aaron Gordon could have an argument for being the most important because of his importance on defense. I value defense.
Let me just get two more. Appreciate you, Han. My bad. Let me just get two more up here real quick. One more maybe. But how you doing?
2-1 this far.
I'm rocking with Darmo because I was saying in the chat earlier, the most important player maximize your best player. Like for instance, Chris Bosh, before he was shooting, like in the Mavs series in the finals, LeBron was getting double teamed because they didn't have no floor spacing, and you put it on Twitter like, oh, who's gonna score against this defense? So what the next season they do? He starts shooting threes. He become a better player. It allows the best player to actually play like the best player and win the series. And the same thing for Draymond. Draymond matched all of Steph Curry weaknesses. Therefore, let Steph Curry to just be Steph Curry and won't have to worry about being anything else.
I do have something to say because I didn't want to. Why wouldn't you say everything that you just said about Chris Bosh to Dwayne Wade? Dwayne Wade was the one that gave up the keys for LeBron, played off LeBron extremely well. I believe personally was his best teammate offensively and defensively. The way that they played off of each other was simpatico. Like it was literally perfect. I know he had to lock up a Roy Hibbert or a David West, but you got to remember in some of these series, they're both putting up 30 points like 30 points a game. Like they're putting that up together, D Wade and LeBron in some of these games, playing off each other offensively and defensively. So why wouldn't you say that about D Wade instead of Chris Bosh specifically?
Well, I don't think D Wade was his best teammate personally. I think Kyrie
But
fed
that's fine.
him better.
You don't have to argue that. That's my opinion. But why do you feel like you can't say that about D Wade instead of Chris Bosh?
Because D Wade didn't play no different from when they won the championship until when they didn't win the championship. Like from
That's
when they
just not
didn't.
true. That's absolutely not true.
No, I don't believe like his 3-point percentage didn't go up that much. Like he got off the ball more, but you could say that more to like injuries. He was hurt a lot the
That's not
last
true
few
either. Like all of them denote that one of the biggest changes in the offseason was D Wade coming to LeBron and saying, "Hey, dog, this is your team. I'm taking the back seat."
Okay, I guess I can see that, but still, like, I believe that the most important player always maximize your best player because if you ask anybody on the team where the best player, they look at somebody who maybe that doesn't do like that, like somebody from the stands would say it's the most important player. But like the team, everybody on the team be like, nah, he does so much for this team that we couldn't do that he's our most important player. Even the best player will say that.
So is it Chris Bosh or is it Dwayne Wade?
It's Chris Bosh, I believe.
Still
the teammates.
So is there no scenario where the most important player is the best player for you?
Yes. I want to say
there's no scenario.
He said yes, there is a scenario.
Okay.
It's like a complete player. Like once LeBron became complete, he's the best and most important player. Like when he became a complete player, I don't think LeBron was a complete player until.
So when they were winning rings, he was.
No.
Name the year.
LeBron was a complete. Name the year. 20. I say like the second season when he went back to the Cavs. I think that when LeBron really.
My trap card.
That is so interesting that you say that, buddy. That is so interesting.
Here we go.
There is a resounding amount of people that feel like, specifically during that finals, that Kyrie Irving was the most important player on that court. Now, mind you, this is a rare occasion where I would probably agree.
You think Kyrie was more important?
If Kyrie doesn't, and I'll lean even to the shot, if Kyrie doesn't make this shot, if he doesn't step it up defensively, if he isn't scoring, if he isn't matching this scoring, no, it doesn't happen. That would be a perfect opportunity to say that honestly, to me, that is one of the more I'll shut the fuck up, clear-cut arguments to say, hey, this guy is the most important. If this doesn't happen with him, it just does not get done.
Really? I don't think LeBron was still more important.
I think
it's LeBron James at the end of the day.
On your side, but you're not on your side.
No, because I've seen what happened. I hate to be that guy. Without Kyrie, I saw what happened the first year. They're just outgunned. And the next year,
Well, he's hurt, obviously.
no, I get that. I get that. But without him, he's outgunned. He's just outgunned. Now, granted, you can say the same thing about LeBron too. I think the whole argument is stupid.
I see the 2018 LeBron, and LeBron didn't start bitching after his teammates, and because your teammates got the rebound and you upset that they didn't put it back up or you didn't call the timeout, and you break your hand and stop shooting. That LeBron, he could have did some crazy stuff that playoff series. I think that LeBron, he could at least got 2 games off the Warriors that season, and he'd have a better GOAT conversation. He would have won game 1. Game 1, and they home, crying yourself king. And
let me wrap this nigga up. Let me do it for y'all. Let me do it for y'all.
What side was he on?
He was on Dom's side.
He was on
Dom,
my
you
side.
lost.
That's crazy. No. He couldn't have sold it for the Army. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Automatic forfeit.
Worship
Automatic forfeit.
He
Oh,
lied.
oh,
You
that
need
was
to worship him.
I just
that
got a
was
new
bad.
hater today, y'all. I ain't gonna lie.
That was bad. I ain't gonna lie.
Just
I can feel the spaces from this, man. I can feel it.
I feel the
Hey,
comments.
I will be listening
2 to 3
anonymously.
spaces from this man on your lunch break. I can.
Cause it's just a silly. It's a silly.
He
thing.
was even like the worst part is someone said he sold. That's the thing. In the first half, he wasn't even bad. I don't know where the fuck this just the I hate LeBron shit came from. But then here we are. He wasn't even that bad until like the third quarter, game 3. 2-2. Comment below who won that debate. I'm not intervening.
Somebody take it away. I gotta be on that one. That was crazy. That was
I
great.
just want to point out the fact that we stretched 2 topics for 2 hours.
I don't care.
We are podding. That was
We
love basketball.
We were podding.
Go ahead. You got one.
Y'all got one? I mean, the one I had, I kind of need Omar here for it, but
I just want to shout out Karl Anthony Towns real quick. It looks like he's gonna be out for a significant time. It's unfortunate, man. I know we like to clown on Karl Anthony Towns, but he was having a career year. Integral part's one of the best teams in the league, man. Torn meniscus. He's probably out for the season, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
So
That's unfortunate.
I hate to have the conversation based off of that principle, but one, we're literally looking forward to talk about. So does that change any opinions in the West, or did we never really believe in the Timberwolves to begin with? Because a lot of people did call the Timberwolves out as that team that's like, hey, if somebody gonna beat them boys in Denver, it's gonna be the team with the perfect center to try to, and then the other one to pull people out of the paint, and then the defense on the perimeter. It was endless people that was believing in the Timberwolves, but obviously you lose Karl Anthony Towns. I understand a guy like Nas can be elevated, but he's not Cat. So
I'm gonna be honest with you. Teams coming out the West, what I've heard the most, Denver, the Clippers, the Thunder, and then probably Minnesota. But I'm not gonna lie and act like I haven't heard the Phoenix Suns just as much, man, to be honest with you.
the West to me is wide open. This does hurt them, in my opinion. But just like with the Embiid injury, this is another one of those. All right, now we got a situation on our hands for something needs to be proven. If this team looks really, even if they, because I don't think they'll be able to go into the playoffs and really be able to compete at the highest level without Cat.
Yeah.
But if this team is able to still battle for the 1 or 2 seed without Cat, yeah, trade that nigga. I'm not.
Yeah,
it's both of the unit.
If J-Mac cooks at the 4,
that's what I'm saying.
If
If
J-Mac and
J-Mac's
Nas
good at the
hold it
4 or
down,
Nas Reed can start, it's so fucked up.
At that
But like
point,
in
it's
my
business.
career,
At that point, it's business, and I'm thinking about, hey, how can we be better? Because I'm looking over at the Celtics. Them niggas is loaded. I'm looking at Denver. How do we compete with these? I'm looking at the Thunder. Man, the Thunder got the chance this offseason to do some of the most ridiculous stuff we have ever seen. The Thunder can set themselves up. They can atone for their sins of letting James Harden go. And not that many franchises get a chance to atone for their sins of doing players dirty. They can atone to set them up to be the next one of them ones. So they got to do something if they're able to compete. I'll say that. If they are able to compete at the 1-2 seed, they don't fall or anything like that, trade Cat, get as much as you can for him in terms of depth of players or more assets, something. But He's coming off a meniscus tear, and you don't need him, and that's messed up to say.
Wilder's stock is high too because
Yeah,
stock was going down going into the season. Now it's back up.
Yeah, Damo, the reason I was talking over you a little bit, and I apologize, my brother, but it was quite literally because it's so fucked up, but true. If Nas Reed shows you that, hey, he can start at the 4 perfectly fine, and or in a perfect world, McDaniels can play the 4. Oh, it's just, dog, it ain't even about Cat. You have him, I think his stock is higher than it was originally. At that point, you just doing bad business. You don't get some assets for him. You can get you a better point guard. You could just upgrade the talent. You whatever it may be, that'd be fucked up. It's better to make that move though than to see your team compete well without Karl Anthony Towns and then just be like, okay, but now we got Cat. Like, nah. You know the ceiling on your team regardless, even if he's healthy. And now if you think that's a championship, then I disagree with you, but let's find out. But ultimately, if you know your ceiling isn't quite at championship level and you have a piece that's tradable, that's worth, I'm not acting like he's an S tier asset, chat, but you could even argue low A. Like he's a valuable player in this league now. Man, you're gonna have to be nasty, bro. It sounds villainous, but you're gonna have to do it, bro. You're gonna have to pack them up.
Are y'all talking about trading Cat?
If we were talking about trading Cat under the principle, if they don't miss a beat. So like if these niggas are basically the same team, which I'm not saying they are going to be, but we're talking under the conversation of Nas Reed's good enough to start, and or J-Mac is fantastic at the 4. At that point, better than just bringing Cat back. You just go ahead and try to look for an upgrade. Now, what that upgrade is, that's a different conversation. It's always the conversation.
I'm just about to ask y'all.
Yeah, that's always the conversation. What it is. How do you feel about someone in chat brought up Trae Young? How do you feel about Trae Young coming there? How do you feel about
Mike Conley for Trae Young?
Another fucking point guard. Any point guard that's on the block that will likely be on the block later on. It's several things, or even if you think it's a position
in my opinion, you're trading Cap for surefire depth and better positions in terms of role players. I would that would be the only thing I'm trading Cat for. I'm not saying take Cat and try to go get Trae Young. I think that's ridiculous. I'm not saying take Cat and try to go get Lauri Markkanen. That is ridiculous. I don't think if you're gonna just try to get a guy, you might as well keep Cat. I'm saying if I have this guy Nas Reed and J-Mac are able to produce at a level that keeps me at this level of the best we've seen since Kevin Garnett. Like I'm at that point, get more guys to bolster the lineup. Give me a backup guard. Give me another guard that can split minutes with Mike Conley because Mike Conley's getting older. We did pay him. He did just recently resign an extension, so he's going to be their starting point guard going forward. He's going to be a little bit older. Get you another guard to come in and play some Mike Conley minutes. I'll play some other minutes if Mike Conley gets hurt.
Monte Morris.
Real quick. Speaking of the Timberwolves, man, this is just now, bro. Real quick. Watch the chase.
Okay,
now.
Turner hands to Reese, who's better than Ja now. Block by Ant.
Crazy.
Oh, that was for the game. That was a game when that was a game
winning
block.
Yeah.
I love that kid. You know what? Fuck Luka. That's like
he hit his head on the backboard. That nigga just went up with no regard for human life. He just had the only thing that matters is the ball.
Yeah.
That guy.
He had 44. Oh my god.
What I'll say, Damo, you might have even won me over in that regard because when I'm looking at the depth of the Timberwolves playoff wise, I don't give a fuck what these stats are looking like now. And truthfully, they're not that bad for some of these players. They are bad for others, but playoff wise, I'm not gonna lie. Monte hasn't even necessarily been hooping as of right now, but he only has 10 games on the season. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, again, you probably want to upgrade from that. Mike Conley is getting a bit up there in age. So it depends what assets are available. I would really have to look into that when we're talking about role players, but I might be of your sense of that's what you trade him for. I just think if you don't need him and it's not a difference with him, I think that's just 1-to-1. You pack him up, but it's probably not going to be the case. I know that's like a Mickey way out, but if it is, then shit. But I don't think it's going to be the case.
If I could find a team willing to give up a quality guard and a quality perimeter player, I'm looking at that in picks. Personally, I'm looking at that picks. Maybe throw in a young big, like a young big on the back end, just to hey, what if he does hit type of player or something in that kind of realm. But I'm looking at that. I'm looking at how much Cat is on the books for. What does that do for my cap? Because now can I bring a guy in the offseason too to kind of build going forward in this new era without Karl Anthony Towns?
And it's free agency.
You trade Cat, you're officially, that's like the process being over in Philly. That's like getting rid of Embiid, and this is officially a new era we're entering to. With Cat there, that is still remnants of that loser ass basketball y'all were playing. That is still remnants of that. That stench is still on. It's still there.
Wait, what?
But is he not a part of the winning though?
He's a part of the winning, but if you ask anybody about the Timberwolves and why they don't have them as a lot coming out the West, they're going to question just him. They're not going to question nobody. They're going to question Rudy Gobert offensively, which who wouldn't, but that's not his role. And then they're going to say, I don't know if Cat's going to be, is Cat going to fall off a cliff again? That's all, because it happened last year. It happens these other times. That's going to be the argument.
Yeah, I actually know Conley's old for me.
That's not stupid. That's a fair criticism because, and maybe I need to pull the numbers up to have them on hand. Cat is there's a droppage that comes from Cat that is kind of noticeable. And he does need to prove it. He's one of those guys that's been in the playoffs a couple times and didn't prove it. Like he needs to prove it. Or maybe one time. A couple times is crazy.
Not prove
one time.
Maybe it is a one time.
Except for 20. You said what?
You froze.
Oh, I'm back. Yo, you're
back. You're back.
All right, there we
I don't even think we have a large enough sample size to be saying this. This seems like an unnecessary.
Three.
You have three playoff runs, a combined 16 games. First series, he averaged 15 points. He didn't hit
is
a
it
three.
kind of
to save
seller in
his
the
life.
playoffs? Like a really big seller?
Yeah,
that's the narrative.
Yeah, recently in his first one, he didn't play well. His best playoff performance was easily in 2021-22, where I think it's on the lower volume, but he does have really good stats. 48-45 from 3, 21
and last year was bad.
Last year, 45% from the field, 25% from 3, 18 and 10.
Was he hurt?
No, he played all 5 games. He played all 5 games.
That don't mean he wasn't hurt.
I don't think he was hurt though.
It wasn't
unless I'm forgetting an injury.
Unless there was some article that came out afterwards. He was hurt for a lot of that season, but he wasn't hurt going into the playoffs. He played, I want to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 games prior to the playoffs.
He played 29 games that season, so he was coming off of an injury.
Yeah, he was coming off injury.
Have that as the reason why. But before then, you had the year before 21-22, where he played 74 games that year. And going in from then 21-22 into the playoffs, I mean, yeah, the volume goes down. Is that what that is? I'm trying to compare. Yeah, the volume goes down and the efficiency goes down. In 21-22, the volume and the efficiency goes down, and the numbers go down.
Yeah, I think it's a reach. I'm looking at it now. That last year 23 playoffs. 1, they played the Nuggets, but 2, it looks like the 2 bad games that he had. Out of 5 games, he had 2 bad games. It was the first 2 games. After that, I mean, he had 27, then he had 17, and then he had 26. But he shot well for the rest of the series. Well, I guess he went 1 for 6 from 3, but everywhere else on the field, he shot pretty well in that last game. I don't know. I think I think that might be an overreaction, to be quite honest with you. I'm not saying he's the greatest thing smoking in the world, but to try to replace him, I mean, he's their most important player, right? So
no, he's not. Rudy Gobert is their most important player. Actually,
I'm talking. But I think it's just we might be jumping the gun on some of these guys, and then the try to get back to it is like and it's also great to have 2 of these people. If Naz Reid is really like that, okay, we got a guy off the bench that's really like that. Like he like that for.
It just depends on what you get in return.
Yeah, I'm about to say it depends what you get in return. Depends on how they look. Because
that's what I'm about to say. That's the biggest thing. This is all depending. They look like they didn't miss a beat, which we're all assuming they will. I view Cat as a significant loss. Now I'm saying if this is a world, if we're living on a version of Earth where there's not a significant loss. Yeah, I'm about to say, if we're living on Earth fucking 345, where goddamn this team is actually fine without Cat, then shit, this is newfound territory.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm saying, now you got to trade Cat. That's crazy. I'm expecting there to be fall off. Just like with the Sixers, I'm expecting fall off to go on with the Sixers. If there's not fall off, oh shit, we're on the version of Earth where Tyrese
Motherfucking
Maxey.
Rocco and not Morris or whatever. They just start cooking in Philly.
We're on the version of Earth where Tyrese Maxey is the best Tyrese. I didn't know that. I thought we were in a different Earth. This is crazy.
Yeah, comment section. If this is a clip, let us be clear. We're not saying trade Cat. We are literally talking on some my career levels of, oh my God, Jaden McDaniels is hooping out his ass type thing.
Shit, I sell my cat.
It might be more plausible than y'all think. I don't know.
It's possible. It's possible just because of defense. But put it this way: it put a percentage on it, 30%, not 10, like 30.
Yeah.
Last few things before we get out of here. Of course, we got to do hot take of the week. Come on now. Damn, where is it? Peace out.
Oh shit. Let me go last, bro. I don't got one.
Damo.
Got you. So listen, man. Good friends of the show, good friends of our lovely podcast, start their own podcast. Shout out Joy Taylor and Taylor Rooks.
I was thinking about bringing this up.
Shout out Joy Taylor and Taylor Rooks, the friends of the show. They officially dropped their first episode. They officially dropped the first episode of their podcast. And this clip circulated on my timeline, and they were saying this.
I don't want to date a man that doesn't have any female friendships. Bingo. I don't want to date a man who only gets input from other men and who has all women in two categories: your mother or your aunties or someone I want to sleep with. You have to have a broader spectrum on women and their value in your life if you're going to be with me.
Totally. Well, first off, only getting information and opinions from other men sounds terrifying.
Terrifying.
So I encourage that to not be what anybody does ever, but you're totally right, because the more
I ain't gonna lie to you, I don't really care about the rest they gotta say.
we keep talking about, can you have
my hot take of the week is just this. Oh wait, hold on. Let me pull this.
Are you gonna pull it back up?
Okay.
The basketball.
Where was it?
There we go. No, my hot take of the week is simply allow people to just talk about what they want on their podcast. I've seen people on the timeline genuinely upset, and they just figured, hey man, they about to stick to the hoops. If they want to talk about relationship advice if you're taking relationship advice from Joy Taylor and Taylor Rooks, hey man, that's where you get your relationship advice from. I'm not mad at it. Why are we putting people in boxes? Allow them to do what they want to do in their free time. That's my hot take. Stop trying to police what niggas do with their free time. Just don't listen.
Also, I think a lot of y'all would be surprised with how much like Gil talks about relationships. Maybe not on Gil's Arena, but I'm pretty sure like on his personal streams, I didn't see anything wrong with that. And what's it called, Ocho and Shannon on Nightcap. They be talking about women.
Well, I think something's wrong with all that bullshit. Listen, man. Sometimes we don't need to know everybody's personality. I think that is a problem with today. You start by showing your personality and what how you feel about dating. The next thing you know, you're sharing your sentiments on Israel and Palestine, and then after that, you're sharing your sentiments on the vaccine. Okay, I don't want to hear that dumbass shit from you.
I mean, that's cool. Just be consistent on both sides of it.
Yeah,
or just admit that you're not consistent. It's cool.
I wouldn't even say that. I would just say don't tune in. Everyone has that liberty of just not tuning in and not worrying about it. But I do feel like we live in a world now that they have the right to put whatever the fuck they want to put out, especially with their platform. Is their platform. We get to the point where we're policing what niggas do with they shit. That's what we like. I mean, we cannot agree, but telling people, hey man, fuck out of here with starting your own shit to talk about what you want to talk about. Take the mic. That's wild. Like, hey, I just won't listen. I won't tune in. I won't watch. I won't support. But everybody got to live within reason. And if the reason is they about to give relationship advice and it's not nothing too problematic, I can give a fuck. Now, if you out here super on the opposite end of Andrew Tate or whatever it is, I don't know. If you just pushing some egregious shit, then we can have a conversation. Cool. But them just pulling the curtain back and being, hey, I'm more than just female in the basketball world. Like, God forbid I want to talk about what I like. Like, that's wild.
Yeah. I feel like, man, stick to your shit, man. Look, bro, I ain't got a problem with what they're doing, man. Honestly, I don't. I'm half trolling. But on a serious note, I think the issue is they marketed it as like they were gonna talk about some shit like it didn't feel like they were marketing it as they weren't going to change. You feel me? Like someone said it's ironic. You fool. You like when I made my pivot, I let niggas know, hey, I'm tired of talking hoops. Hey, it's not gonna happen. They just kind of just said, yo, Taylor Rooks, yo, Joy Taylor, we're gonna do this. It is what it is. But like they didn't really let you know. So it kind of like it's not nothing wrong with it, but it was disappointing for those viewers because those viewers probably tuned in and was like, okay, I'm talking about KD now, right? Right? And then it never happened. So
I don't think they marketed anything in terms of
now
what it was going to be. That was
now that's the counter.
People just kind of assumed what it was going to be because it's Taylor Rooks and Joy Taylor. But.
And we don't know what it was. I mean, I ain't listening to that shit. That was just a minute and 19 seconds of a podcast.
Nah, imagine they were talking about hoops the whole fucking time.
I don't know what they talking about.
I'm gonna tell you something, man. I won't know what they're talking about.
Imagine they were talking hoops the whole fucking time. That's their fault for fair enough. I'm not really like against this shit. I'm more on Damo's side than anything, but I just think it's fucking funny. And I'll say they probably could have like let people know, hey, I'm not talking hoops. Tired. I talk about this shit all the fucking time. I prefaced it, my pivot. They should have probably prefaced it as well for the people that say I'm being hypocritical.
Stinky Minkies. If your package not here by 10, it's done for the day, right?
Oh yeah, gang, that's coming tomorrow.
Oh yeah, you're done. You're done. If a motherfucker pulls up with a box to your house at 10, get the.
No, I didn't have it happen before, but it was definitely some Amazon. Hey, we're gonna be here at midnight type shit. Okay, Sage. Fuck.
They trying to break in, gang. For me, cringe shit aside, I'm gonna continue to be cringy. What do y'all thought? It's me, nigga. Look, man, we're done with the 90s and 2000s as basketball. We're also done with 90s rap, man. Nelly came out here and said this. The 2000s era of music, it was the toughest era in hip-hop ever. And I quote, when I put out songs, I had to go against DMX, Jay-Z, Eminem, Lil Wayne, 50 Cent, Luda. All of us are fighting for one spot. My question to you all is, should we leave the 2000s in the past, or is it easy to get your shit off in today's game? Oh, wait,
Man,
that's the
tell
same
that
side.
old ass nigga. Tell that old ass nigga we done with the 2000s. Nigga, fuck.
Oh, wow.
Yes, you're right, and that's the problem with that prehistoric era of rap. You niggas is fighting for one imaginary spot. That's the difference now. Ain't no fucking one spot. Nigga, I can put my music out. You can put your music out. We can encapsulate all the people that love our music, and all of us make money. It didn't have to be I'm the number one rapper to get all the goddamn bread. Old nigga, like goddamn,
Oh my
Really, none
kids
of them.
had a
none of them-
variety.
I'm
So
listening.
back in
None
my
of them
day,
making money.
we had to fight for the number one spot. Okay,
None of
nigga, shut your job somewhere then. Niggas is making money doing their own thing now. Thank you, Soldier Boy.
Making money is. But no, I actually agree with Nelly. And you kind of made the point. It's less spots. It's easier to put out music. We could put out a song right now. Like legitimately, we can make a song right now, and it would exist on our platform that has 211,000 subscribers. Which back then, somebody who made music didn't know how they were going to get 211,000 subscribers or people to, in theory, watch it. Like if we made a song right now on this podcast, it's a guarantee that in the first day, 10,000 people are going to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
And niggas couldn't do that. He wasn't dissing the new era. He was just saying that's like literally how it is.
You don't think back then it was just it was a case of getting into the game was harder, but once you're in it, it's easier compared to now?
No, I think it's still harder. I think it's still harder. Well, and I don't know what you mean by getting into the game, but that's
like essentially like once you're mainstream, getting those mainstream numbers and maintaining them was much easier back then because like you had labels. Labels had more power. They controlled like what was being put out on the radio and things of that nature.
No, I would still say no, especially if you hear about the hardness of still making music, getting out certain types of music, pumping it up, et cetera, et cetera.
Mm-hmm.
that part it would still be hard. I think once you get into the mainstream, it's probably similar equalness. But again, there's still ways for you to get out music easier today. So like let's say we both end up being mainstream rappers, you of the 2000s, me of the current day. If the label is suppressing both of us, if I'm of today, I could still go and just put music out to a massive amount of people. You can't do shit.
Nah, 100% is harder. I will say that it definitely was harder back then.
Yeah, I don't. For all bits and trolls aside, and I've been pretty neutral for a lot of topics today. Sorry, but today, I mean, on this one, it's kind of pretty obviously Nelly here, because even at base level, he's talking about what he went through. The fuck, like worst case scenario, he's talking about what he was doing. So I mean, unless you're calling him a liar, but then to be a little bit more mature about the conversation. Yeah, nowadays these niggas are just and people challenge love for the game, love for sports, love for music, all that shit all the time. But especially in today's rap where people are openly tweeting, openly saying on Rap Genius, yo, I did this shit for money. Yo, I did this shit because this is how they're gonna do. Yo, I think my fans are crazy and stupid. Yeah, back then, at least for a lot of artists, they were trying to be the number one guy, even if it was financial gain, because some people do want to have number one money. But yeah, a lot of people were aiming for the top spot back then. Nowadays, everybody's just trying to get paid. And that's not saying that's a bad thing, to be honest.
All right.
Yeah, I'm about to say, even though it probably is.
So y'all don't think like I should cut it off at 10:30, like for the package? Never mind, don't answer that. For me, I want to play this video, and I really just want to ask a question, because there's things to unpack for this.
I'll show your ass. Drewski, would you like to speak? Yeah, I'm ready. Go ahead, take your blindfold off.
Oh no.
Why you quiet?
Nah, I'm just in shock.
What you in shock about?
Oh no.
Okay. Can you get 360? Yeah, can I get 360 real quick?
I could make a parlay. I know what he about to do.
God damn. Okay.
He about to max.
His face.
Yeah, he about to wild out. Nah,
I'm good. I'm
just
just.
we about to do.
I don't like the silence. It's scaring me. Like,
Nah. I fuck with it. I like lace red. I like
toes, nails,
Hell
hair,
yeah.
like, what's up? Titties, bison.
No cap though. The body crazy. I'm just
Insane.
some of the features kind of. Wait, what the fuck?
What's going on?
Nah, it's just.
Oh no. It's happening.
Nah, she like when I felt the hands on you.
My parlay hit.
What the fuck? I bought her for you, bro.
What is you talking about? Like, what's going on?
Why they said jawline? Whoa. What the? Nah. No.
100% woman, fuck out of here.
No, you good.
Come back.
You good.
So because this is an audio broadcast, just to catch people up, Drewski and Kaisenat had a recent stream together, and they were doing a blindfold date type of situation or whatever the case may be. And the person presented to Drewski, he felt like that she was potentially not a woman, a natural born woman, a woman with a vagina, whatever you want to say. That's because a previous joke was played where there was another woman who put on a real deep voice. And then I see somebody else say this: when the girls have taken on the drag aesthetic so heavily to the point where a man has to question if you're even a woman. Yeah, there's a lot of conversation about this, on my timeline. We've gone through the whole "have you been tricked" or whatever the case may be. I want to reiterate, niggas aren't getting tricked. That's my hot take of the week. That was for a comedy sketch, but I think there's a lot of things that are interesting in that. Niggas just aren't getting tricked. Don't let it be fooling you. People are not getting tricked. It's just as simple as that.
She look good to me.
Yeah, for me, I ain't gonna lie. It's like I knew what he was gonna do, but I'm just like, not too much, bro. She ain't look like just nah. I feel like he wildin'. Just a little bit. It's a joke that's going it's always gonna be there. It's
And
always
it's a bit from Drewski.
Yeah.
You know, not saying whether I agree or disagree with it. But the look, y'all should go find that tweet or other tweets that have that. Look at the quote tweets and see how many people are talking about, oh man, trans women are getting better. Like they can't tell. Like it's a bunch of conversations around it.
Oh, if that's the topic, I thought that was you getting your shit off. If that's the topic, oh, that's whack. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, that's
Getting better.
Yeah, that's a whack
doctors,
way to talk about the joke. I thought niggas was talking about, yo, is Drewski being a dickhead or not? Which I was gonna say.
And they think he's being a dickhead, but
but that's the content.
The conversation is niggas saying it's colorism, and because she's a dark-skinned woman, that's why they're saying she looks like a trans woman. Niggas are saying that it is a trans woman. Niggas are saying that, you know, it's a bunch of different people.
Is this the new trampoline to get their shit off?
For a lot of people, but there's different contexts. Why we always go to certain types of features as being a potential trans person or whatever the case is. It's a lot of. My simple point is niggas aren't getting tricked.
All right, well, yeah, I'll end my my turn with overall, I don't think she looked manly personally, but what I will definitely say is it for niggas that are ready to pack up Drewski and shit like that, while it's mean for sure, that's the content. I would just question anybody that wants to do that. The blind shit, 20 versus 1 shit. That's just kind of what happens over there. So I'm not surprised that I've seen something like that. Hence why I expected it.
Well, she has OF, and I will say there are some other people that she had a deep voice, so they did some similar stuff too. But it's just, you know, and if that's content, some people would argue that it's just.
It's not good. It's just
content. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know.
It's just on side for conversation, but we talked about that, I think, separately. I thought you had to go down.
Oh, my fault. No, I would just say, I mean, in terms of do I agree with the bit sketch joke? No, but I mean, hey, we live in a progressive world. I thought that actually, I mean, if done in the right sense, if he would have just sat there and be like, Are you a transsexual? Like, do y'all think it still would have got a crazy response? Because it shouldn't. Like, that would have been the right thing to do, right?
Again, it's not even about it's not the bit. People don't have a problem with the bit per se. I haven't seen, that's not the math. The conversations have been about, okay, well, women are gonna start going away from BBLs, they're gonna get away from this aesthetic because you're gonna be mistakenly identified as trans. Trans people have gone too far. Like it's those things. So I haven't seen too many people hate on the bit. It's more so about the concepts surrounding the bit. Why you?
No, the fuck way.
Akira Toriyama died.
Yeah, I think Toriyama died. Oh, damn. Oh, that's crazy. I'm sorry if we fucked up the clip. Oh, that is crazy. I'm on Twitter right now. I think it look real, bro. It's kind of like one of them things, like when other famous people died, and you're just like, nah, that's got to be fake. But then I'm seeing way too many people tweet this out.
Damn, I seen CMB said it first, not to look it up.
Yeah, I think I see a studio. Yeah, I think he gone, y'all.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's tough, man. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, a legend, dog. Rest in peace, a legend.
One of the Asian goats.
Yeah. You know it's. Damn, bro, that's like a black hole in my heart. All right, well.
Be souls.
All right.
That's tough.
So similar to Omar, it's more so a question or just a topic. I don't really gotta take, man. I'm not forcing it. I asked on a timeline, if you had to choose what decade you would live your 20s in, what would you choose? What would you choose?
The one that I lived.
Not change anything?
No, I wouldn't. The one that I lived it in.
Okay. Damo, Sage.
which decade would I want to live my 20s in? 70s.
Why?
I feel like it was lit back then. Just to experience the discos. I want to experience the disco era. That's really that's honestly the only reason why I would want to do it. Disco era seems super fun. I wanted to see what it was like.
A lot of people said that on my chat earlier too. Sage?
I'd say, to be honest, man, you know what? The early 2000s. I want to see what I was missing out on. I want to see precisely what I was missing out on. Oh, when this is adult stuff, what's adult stuff? You know, what exactly is this adult stuff? Let me be in an era that I'm familiar with, but like I can actually do this and that versus, you know, going to school. So I'd say that. If not 10 years early, actually 90s music kind of solos for me. I've realized how much late 80s, 90s R&B music I truly listen to. Shit solo. So I'm gonna go there. The 90s.
I mean, even when we have the discussion about media right now, my answer is 2000s. I feel like a lot of those like peaked in the 2000s. So I'd love to see a lot of like the shit that they're recreating now in their prime as it was going out in the 2000s. And I feel like the 2000s is just that perfect Goldilocks mix of like progressive enough society, but not like technology hasn't taken over for real. Because another take, I guess is one of my hot takes, is like social media addiction is a real thing. And I feel like in 20, 30 years, we will look back at this era and look at internet addiction, phone addiction, whatever the fuck, as like this generation's cigarettes. Low key, that's a hot take. But yeah, man, 2000s it is for me.
This generation cigarettes,
Yeah.
Damn.
I don't know if it's gonna give us cancer, but I'm not gonna. I fuck with what you said.
Might not be cancer. It might be chronic depression or some shit. I don't know. Chronic anxiety.
Next time we on here, we gotta break down why the West or the East is so bad historically. Why it's been historically bad our whole lives. I also do want to say Kelsey Nicole fumbled that interview. Well, she didn't fumble it. She did exactly what I thought.
Fumble it. She had nothing to say.
Yeah, nothing to say. Yeah, she wasn't gonna come out.
Oh, you talking about the Tory one?
Yeah, if she wasn't gonna come out and just say some shit.
Bro, who shot her? I don't know. Okay, bye.
Yeah, again, it's no 2 hours. Last thing we're gonna do, really, I promise you before we get up out of here. We did our report cards, but we never saw the grades.
Oh yeah, the things that apparently people can vote a million times on. So I'm scared.
I don't know if you can vote a million times on the report card.
I hope not.
Settings.
It's all right. Whatever it is, I'm gonna act like it's law. So,
well, it is law. This is our report card grades. Okay, you said that they were limited to one. So for the funny grades, Damo comes in first.
Okay.
I came in second, and B Souls and Sage came in last. These are by average.
The moments be carrying.
So we just all motherfucking SNS on the humor shit. Got it. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Next one, aura grades. Damo came in first. Sage came in second. I came in third, and B Souls came in fourth. I don't know.
My average is lower, but my median's higher.
Don't know.
I dropped out.
Aura really even means.
Okay.
I need more aura.
Our Riz grades. Now, mind you, look at these numbers. These numbers are extremely low here.
Median is 1. What does that mean? How is a median 1 but the average 4.9?
I'm first.
Wait, no, that's actually crazy.
Nah, you got cooked. You got cooked.
I'm first. Damo is second. Sage is fourth, and B Souls is third.
Oh, that's supposed to be mode. Cruz says supposed to be mode. Not
okay, now that makes way more
but...
sense. Like, what the fuck?
I mean, it makes sense for me, man. I ain't gonna lie. I'm one and done.
I ain't had a hug since 2nd grade, though.
Nerd grades.
Oh yeah, I'm cooking.
I'm finally high. Huh?
This is one that I struggle to. I wonder what people consider nerd. And the Sage has a 9 average.
Yeah, what's a nerd to y'all, man?
I want to know this one specifically.
I mean,
I'm not as nerdy as y'all think, bro. Like in the basketball shit, I've literally embraced being like casual with the shit.
Do the 3 things that would make your nerd case. Like three things that make you a nerd.
Well, one, right now, I am playing it off immensely. I am actually very sad right now. So let me be clear. I don't know how y'all are able to move on. I'm very sad right now. 2, like my whole channel content, this nigga. And 3, and most importantly, I will sit there and argue until all day, even fiercer than a sports debate, even fiercer than an actor debate or whatever, about the individuality of characters in Dragon Ball and play niche games as an honorable mention.
I feel like for me it'd be the content conversations that I'd be having, everything from a content creator lens, that type of bag. I feel like I talk about tech. Omar might talk about tech more than me, but I talk about tech a lot. And I ain't gonna lie, classic racism, man, Asian allegations.
I feel like mine is Star Wars. I really don't think that has to be explained. The second one would be my degree. I think if you have a computer science degree, I'd be trying to be the coolest of the nerds, but we all nerds. It's the cool nerd in that class, but it's they nerds. And then the third one, when me and my girlfriend joke, I swear it's the most nerdy shit. The other day we told a joke, and the punchline for me was like serfs. You know, peasants and serfs in the feudal system. The punchline was somehow serfs. Yeah, nerd shit, just lame as can be. Because we both, after I said it, we laughed. I was like, all right, we're fucking nerds. There's no other way to. Nobody else would get that. Fucking nerds. Dama, what's your nerd case? I mean, you did get 4th, so you don't have.
Yeah, he's too cool.
Wait, 4th. Wait,
3 things. What are your 3 things for your nerd case?
You were number 1 in aura, by the way. I need you to know that.
Wait, how many grades were there? Wait, damn.
Third one.
Okay.
You were the funniest, had the most aura, but you are last in nerdiness.
Oh man, y'all really fuck with me. Nah, my most nerdy shit, I would say, I'm like, damn, that's crazy. Your
3 nerd cases.
My 3 nerd cases. One would be definitely, I guess, gaming. Like the extent of my gaming and like how much I will have like conversations I could have.
Being on 2K all day. All right, man. Don't be nerd.
Not even 2K, but if we really got into it about like games from the past, I mean, I guess you're not a gaming nerd. I'm not even a nerd when it comes to gaming, I guess.
What's your top 3 like
cartoons? I would say cartoons then. I would say cartoons. I feel like I'm a big nerd when it comes to cartoons. In terms of conversations, when we really like when I called when one of the streams with me and Sage were talking about fucking Nick versus Cartoon Network.
You don't have to convince us. Just what are your 3? What are your 3?
I would say cartoons. I would say basketball. I'm a basketball nerd. I am a nerd. My number 1 would be fucking basketball. I am a nerd for basketball. I'm not gonna lie to you. Basketball nerd. I would say cartoons, and then 3.
I say gaming.
Yeah, gaming.
Okay. Let's keep going.
You said porn stars. Can I say that? Is that make me a nerd? I thought that made me something else.
Oh yeah, Cruz.
Motion grades. B-Souls has the most motion. Sage has the second most motion. I have the third most motion, and then Damo has the 4th most motion.
How are we defining motion, man?
It's up to interpretation. However these niggas want to read
I'm about to say, if I add everyone in the Discord right now, compared to Damo doing that same, all 3 of y'all doing that same thing.
Hell no, stop it.
What?
In the community, I have the least most motion.
Yeah, if we're talking in community, I'm 3rd.
Omar just flat out lying because
in this community,
Omar lied. I go Damo 1, Omar 2, me 3. I'll say so.
Yeah, the only reason I'm up there is because of my overall following. Like that's it.
I have no case in terms of motion. That's crazy.
In the community,
okay, Damo. You're
the funniest, strong, tallest, happiest guy.
These grades are a definition of motion. It is an example of your motion. I ain't gonna lie.
Literally, I'm gonna say yeah, and I got 4th, buddy, in terms of motion. So literally, all Omar got to do is say everyone to the stage. Nigga, 30 niggas are there.
I don't think they talking motion in the community though, Damo. We talking.
So he got more motion than me. That's what I'm saying.
They're talking motion in general, and okay. I don't know how to fuck them too, but they're talking motion in general. I think we're talking motion in the community. Motion in the community, you're not.
I'm probably 3rd. I'm probably 3rd in motion in the community.
Yeah, no way you're fucking
3rd.
Yeah, this nigga's a liar.
Stop,
He
bro.
bored. He
Stop,
bored.
bro.
He
Stop,
bored.
bro.
What are you talking about?
You literally got a whole subsection.
Thank
of
you,
the
thank you,
community
Sauce.
called
No,
Dungeon,
no, no,
bro.
no,
Come
no.
on, bro.
We're chatting. Everybody on stage is chatting.
Okay,
Thank
Omar
you,
has two.
thank you,
Omar has
Sauce
a
God.
section.
He is
Oh my God.
literally a.
Y'all
Omar
are
has
one
a-
and two. That's what I'm saying. And this motherfucker got host of the year.
What are we
They
doing, bro?
literally won host of the year last year. What are we doing?
I think you cleared me for all the spaces and consistency. I could tag these niggas and be like, shut up, Sage. Go to sleep. You'll tag a space. They'll be like, all right, hold on.
Okay, that's fine. And I'm about to say Mex said it. My spaces be dead. But who I'm the most hated. We gotta stop. We gotta
Most
stop.
hated.
Most hated.
At this point, yes. At this point, yes. Yes.
It's between
Omar
me and you,
spaces
man.
be dead.
I ain't gonna lie. I'm not in that race no more.
Sage is not in that race. Damo's not in that race.
I'm not racing no more.
It's between me and you, buddy.
I still have a couple of people that try to cling on to the Sage hate, and niggas is like,
He said
nah.
I'm gay. Look at this. What am I supposed to do?
That's one of Damo's guys.
Okay, so these who do you have as between me and you most hated?
Most hated, nah. That's
Most hated. I'm not gonna lie. You still get the most. No, hold on. You still get the most. Man, this guy ruins the podcast. He's such a casual. This, that, and the third type shit. Like, and yeah, you still get a lot of those comments. Now, me recently, motherfuckers been on my penis lately.
Someone said Soul's
This
not in that
dude's
combo. No,
boring.
Soul's in
This
the combo.
dude don't got any hot takes. He's so scary. He's an easy lick.
What? Yo, that's crazy. One dude said I've been watching him since like I was in elementary school. That nigga ain't changed for nothing. Me, y'all do hate me so.
All right, bro. Y'all, this is crazy how we're trying to define motion. Y'all want to see motion? After this, you know what we could do to really test who has the most motion, who has the least amount of motion? After this, the pod ends. Everybody start a Twitter space. Just start.
Oh yeah, someone said that. Didn't they say you change your voice, B-Souls? Yes, bruh. Someone said, damn, you don't use that high voice anymore, man.
Yeah.
You really changed
The way I measure keep it a buck hate is how obscure the hate is. So how obscure and how consistent it is. So like someone just said in here, I'm fake crazy. What the fuck are you talking about? So like that's what I mean in the sense of like, okay, I'm third because Damo don't get none of that shit. Then you'll get something like Omar talking about, Omar just hates your fucking body. But talk about you, Omar. I seen that in your video. I was like, I seen that on your shit. I'm like, oh my God, y'all done transcended into this nigga shit. B-Souls, in my opinion, low key maybe number one because he can't breathe unless he's being toxic. And maybe that's biased from my perspective. But B-Souls is just B-Souls gets hate for just existing, and it's crazy to me. He's literally like, it's not that he's not funny. It's not that he's not entertaining. It's just
don't do shit.
I don't know, bro. He just doesn't hit. It just doesn't give. I'm like, what?
Stop it. I easily get the most hate. I don't care what nobody says.
All right,
I'm just polarizing, man. That's what it is.
Fine too long, bro. Now Damo think he hated the nigga that got seen with the most aura and the most aura funniest 2-time, probably 3-time host of the year.
You know what's crazy? None of that shit translate because if we boot up the streams, we can see who's the most loved real quick.
I would still be fourth. I would still be fourth. Yes, I would.
If after this we could do a Twitter space Twitter space, I'll be second. If we all booted up streams after this, I'll be fourth, easily fourth.
Oh, you wouldn't. But
yes,
I'm not gonna lie. My stream's been hella entertaining lately, man. Say still got it. Say in terms of that activity, say still got it. Man.
That's what I've been trying to do more than anybody here. I'd be salty a little bit. So
I'm on. That's your fault for not streaming. I stream. What?
No, I'm shooting for an hour, bro.
You just started streaming.
Podcast.
I said part-time streamer, but all right.
Hour 32 hours. Stop it, man.
Someone said, "Damn, Damo only plays 2 2K games max, and then he just be heading off."
I'm somebody too, because he does that. That's a fact.
How much? I got ADHD, bro. I get bored quick. See, that shit gotta be entertaining. I'm not gonna lie to you.
That is a fact, boy. Damo played 2 games. Yo, where'd Damo go? He's gone, bro.
Hey, I ain't gonna hold you, and let's really talk about it. I can't even do what I used to do like I did back in the day no more. I only got to get 2 games in me because after that,
man, you got to get the little baby strap thing.
Oh my god.
You know what I'm saying? The
Nah,
Bjorn?
she's too
Gotta hit
grown
up
for that,
iPod,
man.
Ask him
She's
what
too
he
grown
do.
for that. She's too big. She's too big.
Send her
I
the
look
two.
like she's trying to play the game. She be trying to play the game with me. Can't do it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been a great episode of the Let's Keep It a Buck podcast, presented by no one. We will catch you guys later. Be so say goodbye to the people.
Peace out, y'all. Appreciate y'all for coming through. Follow the guy on TikTok, man. I'm doing really good on TikTok lately, man. Also follow me on Twitch, bro. The streams have been hella entertaining, man. And I think y'all are missing out if you don't tune in. So, yeah, man.
Say goodbye to the people, man.
All right, people. I played it off for the panel. I am sad. RIP Toriyama, man, for real. I want to announce on here. I'll announce it on my stream as well, and I'll probably end up making that video offline recorded. To be honest, I do want to make a video and/or conversation about it. However, I'm not going to monetize it at all. Let me be very clear. If I title it, whatever, you can fact check it. Editing team, if you lurking, no money on that. But I do want to talk about that on my end. So we might even go live tonight. I'll think about it. But RIP a legend, dog.
This is gonna be a great video. Damo, say goodbye to the people.
All right, Chaz, me and my favorite midnight snack. We will be back. I mean, for those of you with Call of Duty and 2K tonight in the Discord, but tomorrow we'll be on stream. I don't know what the fuck I'm streaming. Pull up with his eyes. We're getting lit.
And I will see you guys later. More videos, more content, taking over, new heights. Till next time. We done with the 90s.
Garbage.
Big trash Charles Barkley.
Y'all's reacting to him.
That
We
nigga's
done
hilarious.
with that garbage. We'll see y'all later, man.